Sandra all the time is here with a cold hard truth. She's the ears and the eyes for me and you. Every day, everyone want to hear from Sandra. And every time on the air, she's getting better. Tell your sister, tell your brother, tell your mama, call Sandra in the morning and in the evening. They always calling Sandra. And when they start fighting, they calling Sandra. And
That's right, folks. Everyone is telling their mama about the cold hard truth. Welcome to another episode with more truth telling, more problem solving, and of course, more tea spilling than ever before. Sit back, students, grab your tea and turn up the volume because class is now in session. Call in at 936-2626 because your voice matters. Share your opinion on issues that matter the most to you.
Sandra all the time is here with a cold hard truth. She's the ears and the eyes for me and you. Every day, everyone want to hear from Sandra. And every time on the air, she's getting better. Tell your sister, tell your brother, tell your mama, call Sandra in the morning and in the evening. They always calling Sandra. And when they start fighting, they calling Sandra.
That's right, folks. Everyone is telling their mama about the cold hard truth. Welcome to another episode with more truth telling, more problem solving, and of course, more tea spilling than ever before. Sit back, students, grab your tea and turn up the volume because class is now in session. Call in at 936-2626 because your voice matters. Share your opinion on issues that matter the most to you.
Sandra all the time is here with a cold hard truth. She's the ears and the eyes for me and you. Every day, everyone want to hear from Sandra. And every time on the air, she's getting...
Our father died from melanoma.
Oh, and he didn't.
Yeah. So,
and your brother's not?
correct. I'm like, dude, what are you doing, man? Very important.
Stuff.
Especially since, family history of it.
Exactly.
Although my father, I remember growing up, my father bathed himself in canola oil.
I know that was.
It was actually baby oil. But
I mean,
it smelled really nice.
I did that too
and he
in
was
the
very,
90s.
he was very tan in the 80s, late 70s.
Yeah.
But
we don't do that anymore.
No.
I mean, I worked at a tanning salon.
Can you
when
imagine?
I was a teenager, and I used to go tanning inside all the time too.
Do they even still make that baby oil you slather on?
You can still get baby oil.
Yeah, I
it's
know,
just I'm sure you can still get it.
It was like
tanning salons.
It was like special like tanning.
Yeah, I know.
I'm trying to remember the
they
brand.
sell it at it's something. I remember what you're talking about though.
Yeah. 7:31 right now.
Big news. I have some important news for you. Interesting news.
It's Blake and Aaron's Spilling the Tea with Sandy.
K-Man's top news headlines of the day from CMR.
Hey, Sandy, what do you got for us this morning?
Yes. Good morning, Blake and Aaron. Happy Thursday. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, we're good.
How are you?
All good. All good.
Great.
So,
got our SPF on. We're good.
yeah, you got to wear that sunscreen. It's pretty hot out there.
Mm-hmm.
So, shall I tell you No. Yep. You know what? Never mind.
Oh, go on.
What?
You can't do that.
I got a
do that.
story.
All
But
right.
The police haven't confirmed it, but I think I want to tell you guys this because it's a pretty big story.
This is the Marl Road.
Yes, exactly. All right, here we
You're
go.
the number one news source in Cayman.
Oh boy, and do we get it? So listen, I asked the police for a comment in the story and they've not responded.
All right.
All right, there is a police officer who works in West Bay, female police officer, and she was in a relationship with another young lady who happens to work for the consulate, the U.S. consulate office. The two of them have some sort of a domestic incident, and she takes her phone and whatever. They have an argument, whatever. The U.S. Secret Service came to the Cayman Islands and demanded back their property because the phone was her work phone and it belongs to them.
Belongs to the government.
Okay.
Yes.
U.S. government.
Yes. And they sent agents down here. And yeah, she had to be put on, I understand she's been arrested for a number of offenses. And she's been put on, I'm guessing, some form of leave, although the police actually haven't confirmed that part of the story. And so this is a really shocking, developing story that the police have refused to say anything about.
Well, maybe because there's an investigation going on.
Maybe, yeah.
So,
maybe
you
Secret
know,
Service are involved.
Still, you get a media query, you can at least say there is an investigation going on. You don't not respond to the story at all.
No, that's typical though, right? Our police department doesn't do press conferences like they do in the States.
Yeah.
Yes. Well,
And whatever happened to the mass shooter?
yeah. Well, I don't know.
What's the latest on that?
Yeah.
What
well,
task? Is there an update from the task force?
Mm-hmm.
we keep pushing for these things, but seems really difficult. All right.
Have you ever heard of like a mass shooting in the States where they didn't capture the person? I don't think that's a thing. They always capture the person.
Wow.
Well, normally they end up probably.
Do you recall a
Do
case?
you think I can recall all the mass shootings
I
in
know,
the
oh my
United
God,
States? There's
yeah,
one like every day.
Yeah,
This is wild.
this is pretty
Yeah.
true.
That's a good
All
point.
right.
man.
So anyway, that's a story that we are trying to follow up. Now listen.
Yeah.
There's a man who appeared in court yesterday with 74 previous convictions.
Come on.
My mouth dropped open when the magistrate said, "Yeah, you've got 74 previous convictions here."
There's no three
Anyway,
strikes and you're out here.
No.
he got a couple more added to that. He's now pushing 80.
Well,
yesterday.
100 strikes and you're out. That's the
that what it
Cayman
is?
law. Yeah.
Stephen Eduardo Ebanks was sentenced to another 12 months in prison. I think that's just his permanent home. I'm figuring they should probably just give him a job in prison at this rate, because he's not coming out and going.
It's an interesting middle name with the other two names.
Yeah.
Stephen Eduardo Ebanks.
So anyway, he's back.
What kind of background? What kind of heritage does this guy have? What's in his
A lot-
DNA?
A lot of his issues stem from addiction. So he just keeps, like stealing and doing all sorts of stuff. So this time, he's got a couple offenses, including theft, cocaine possession. The list just goes on and on. It's just absolutely ridiculous. But he'll spend the next 12 months in jail. Well, 60% of that. And he'll be out again, probably doing the exact same thing.
I don't know if you have done this story on your show, but I keep thinking about these Americans in Turks and Caicos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we did it.
Who
I
are
think you were away when we were.
who are up for the hearing is the U.S. State Department or congressmen
Trying to intervene.
have gotten involved and actually flew to Turks and Caicos and met with their government. I mean, what happened? There's several American men that are there. I think maybe 3 or 4 that have traveled to Turks and Caicos with shell casings in their bag, not weapons, not guns, but actually just bullets.
Yeah.
And they got arrested. They're still there and face 12 years in jail.
Well,
I keep thinking that would never happen in Cayman. That would never happen.
What part wouldn't happen? That they'd be in jail?
I don't think somebody traveling here. Actually, it's happened. Somebody traveled here.
They don't really go to jail.
Exactly. You wouldn't stick somebody in prison for 12 years and and not, most of the guys have like small kids at home. Like they would grow up without their dad.
I mean, you should know the country laws.
There is a thing
100%.
called follow the law.
100%.
It's called locked up abroad.
100%. But is that worth 12 years?
Even when you travel,
I mean, it's going to cost that country's taxpayers or like.
Listen to me. Listen, I have
Yeah.
a theory about this, right? You only have to send one person to jail once, and it doesn't even have to be for 12 years, before all Americans are going to start checking their suitcases before they travel abroad.
Well, several of them have been in jail for months there. So, I mean,
check your suitcase.
well,
The excuses.
I agree.
But remember, we actually had a lady. Remember, she was a big Trumpster who ended up committing suicide over her case here. Same thing.
I didn't know that.
I didn't hear that
You
either.
guys remember that case?
No.
I remember
back in 2019, 2020. The first case was a hung jury, and when the prosecution said that they were going to retry her, she was already in the States and decided to just end her life. Pretty wild. With a gun, of course.
Wow.
She's in the States already?
The gun stuff is kind of crazy. Anyway, the U.S. is calling, the UK, my apologies, is calling early elections for July the 4th.
Mm-hmm.
So this is an interesting move by British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak. They're saying, this is he's hedging his bets a little bit here.
Well,
Anyway.
he's not the smartest person. I mean, he did inherit all his money from his wife. Buried into it.
Well, that doesn't mean he's not smart, but
Nah.
I think he had money. He just didn't have her kind of money.
Hmm.
But anyway, Sky News political correspondents have said that they were caught. The political folks there in the UK have been caught off guard, and some are angry with no attempt by the prime minister to prepare the ground for this. So even his own people are like, wait a minute, we're not going to be ready for an election in July. That's like 2 months away, less than 2 months. So we'll see.
It'll be interesting. I thought he was gonna take all the migrants and put them on planes to Rwanda, even though they're not.
Yeah, he's still going with that plan. All right, let's have some good news today. Today is crazy. Let's have some good news. Cayman Art Week kicked off yesterday. Congratulations. This is a phenomenal annual event now for the past at least 4 years, where you can go and enjoy some 15 galleries, 11 studios, 14 pop-up exhibitions spanning across all 3 of the Cayman Islands. Started yesterday through the 26th. An entire week. They've got the hop-on, hop-off bus. Please go to their website, go to their social media pages, check it out. If you love art, even if you don't love art, just go anyway, because this will give you a new appreciation for the amazing artists that we have working very, very hard and very, very diligently here in the Cayman Islands. Let's do one big shout out before we leave. Cayman's under 17 girls football team are heading to Puerto Rico.
Woo! That's awesome.
Yeah, so congratulations to them. They left yesterday, and they're going to play in a local tournament and an international friendly. They're set to face the Puerto Rican team today, actually, so good luck. And they're going to be traveling to the Salinas for the football international tournament organized there by the Puerto Rican Football Federation.
All right.
I've got something for you guys. Today is World Turtle Day.
Turtle.
Aww.
So there you go. Happy World Turtle. Tortoise.
All right. And we're going to be doing a big expose today. So if anybody wants to hear about poor contractors in the Cayman Islands.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
Oh, boy. It's one of those kinds of days.
All right.
Yes, honey child. I'm not here tomorrow, by the way. So today is Friday, part 1. This is your Friday.
You're not here tomorrow?
Okay.
No. Got stuff going on. I'll tell you off air.
Okay.
You go on the Turks and Caicos and do a story.
Turks and Caicos. Tell them to keep him locked up.
Hey, so the guy is waiting on a hearing to find out what his sentencing is.
Okay.
Yeah. He's on bail, living in an apartment or hotel or something. I mean,
his
if I was
family
facing
has
12
raised a lot of money already. Like
if
over
I was
half a
facing
million
12 years, I would just borrow a boat and said, peace off. See you later.
You
Peace
would
out.
do what? Sorry? Leave
I
the
would-
jurisdiction?
Couldn't somebody just go down and pick him up on a boat and see you later?
Well, then they'd want him on some other charges. So,
Yeah, but he'll never go back
I
there.
don't know
They're
if
not
that's-
going to extradite him for some shell casings.
I don't know, Blake. I wouldn't be taking legal advice from you after today.
Right?
I'm not using you in my trial as my lawyer, but what you just said, I'm like, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Offline. Just get a
Yeah.
boat.
Yeah, just, you know,
Down the jurisdiction. That's your answer. He probably doesn't even have his
maybe
passport.
while you're waiting, you do some boating.
Yeah. Americans
some
just need to
boating.
learn to follow the law. You go to Russia, don't take your little spliff with you. Leave it back in, Texas or wherever.
Well,
Don't
that's
do
a
it.
whole
I wouldn't
different.
even go to Russia
Yeah, I
as
wouldn't
an
either.
American.
I mean, listen, the laws of the land, honey chill.
Mm.
All right.
All right. See
Have
you
a
later.
good one. Bye.
See you
See ya
Monday.
Yeah.
I
Monday,
guess.
yeah. All right, folks, let's get it. Let's get it. Everybody wake. Where's that wake up song? Everybody wake up. Let me send out my, y'all like, oh God, Sandy, must you? I'm awake, honey child. Ooh, somebody calling me already? Good morning, honey child.
Good morning. I have a quick question.
Sure.
Are shell casings the same as like bullets, like ammunition?
I think they were actually bullets. I'd have to double check the story, but I don't. I mean, I'm not going to rely on Blake this morning to say that was accurate.
So here's the thing: like, if say it was Cayman, right?
Mm-hmm. By the way, we're going to have this whole
illegal
discussion. We're going to talk about this next week with some of our regional partners. So we're going to do a deep dive into this topic. Don't worry. Because I
just want to say real quick before you go. So if it was Cayman, we know illegal guns are here, and those guys are bringing in bullets that could potentially match the guns that are already here. So I say yes, 12 years in prison.
Well, that's what the law says. let me be very, very frank. The law doesn't really care what we say. The law says here in this jurisdiction, 10 years. 7 years if you plead guilty. But in this jurisdiction, has been a huge divergence of what locals get because they say, the legislation was designed to go after gang activity and not really designed to make sure that tourists follow the law. I'm not so sure that I know the difference.
If those tourists, how do we know if those tourists are in contact with people here and selling them bullets?
We don't until the day that it happens, and then it becomes very obvious. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're most welcome. All right. This is Friday, our Friday, folks. Listen, just because I'm not live in the studio tomorrow doesn't mean that you guys don't need to be here. You need to show up to class. We got a substitute situation going on because we're going to have an episode of Cayman Voices being aired, as well as what else we got going on? We're going to do Cayman Voices, and y'all just need to tune in, basically. So make sure you're here because it's a good one. Okay, honey, chillin'. We got a lot to talk about this morning. I see 400 plus good folks waiting to kick off the show on social media. No doubt more of you will be joining as soon as I send out the morning link. Good morning. Yes, honey, chill. All right, so we're going to talk about Philip Hydes this morning. We soon get to him. Don't y'all worry. And I know some of you are here just for him, and y'all gonna be calling him. He's still overseas, and Philip's a hot mess. But before we get to Philip, by the way, check out my big breakfast bowl. Boy, Miss Stacy believe in feeding people. Look all this fruit. It's in my nice little Disney bowl. And we got watermelon, we got cantaloupe, we got grapes, we have pear, as in the other kind of pear. Strawberries. Good morning, Colin.
Good morning, Sandy.
Hello, honey child. How are you?
I'm great, man. For me to be in a bed, I would have to be you.
What a heat.
What I'm calling about is this guy. He got almost 80 cases, and to give him 12 months. When are they? When are the judges? There's criminal allowing judges. That's what it boils down to. It seems like, and I say that with no reservation at all, with all respect to the other. How in this world that a judge could give him 12 months? He committed an offense when he is on a bail. These people got to realize until we pass a law that hard labor is hard labor.
Listen, even when the court says hard labor, which they did in the case of that con artist, what's his name again? Garfield Rob, No one that I've ever spoken to in the penal system here in the Cayman Islands even knows what that means because it has never been enforced by the prison. So y'all can talk about hard labor all you want. The truth of the matter is we don't even know what hard labor means. Let's be very, very clear now.
You want to see hard labor? You go to Honduras.
Yes.
I was there one time, and a guy was telling me, if you don't have somebody to bring you food, and these are before you even convicted. If you don't have somebody to bring you food, your family or your friends, you will starve.
Yes. Well, Caymanians not used to no rough life anymore, so.
No, it's so disheartening when the court system has failed the honest, hard working people of this country and giving that criminal, because he is a criminal.
Yep.
And don't tell me, he's on crack cocaine.
Yeah.
Nobody made him go and take crack cocaine. I have every chance in the world.
And listen, every opportunity he gets to clean up, because they say, he was in a halfway house, he left there and started doing drugs again. Pretty much every opportunity he gets, he wastes the opportunity. And I mean, listen, I can't begin to fathom what it must be like to be an addict. I'm not going to pretend like I even have a clue, because I really don't. And I'm sure that is a very, very difficult road for anybody. But everybody has attempted to give this man help. The court has offered him help. And there's only so much that the court can do. But the problem with sentencing, to answer your question directly, is they can only sentence him based on the offenses before him. Yes, his past does play a little bit of a role in the sense that he's not going to get any relief from the court. So he's not going to get any consideration, if you will, on a lesser sentence, right? So someone who's never been convicted of anything, who's never been to jail, they will get they'll get, oh, wow, like maybe we should consider community service order as opposed to sending you to jail. That was not even on the table for this guy. It was like, listen, you're going to jail and just sit there for another 12 months. At least you're kind of hopefully remain sober.
Sandy, are we so stupid to think that if that man you catch him in your house, breaking into your house or stealing from you, and he got a weapon that he's not going to injure you or kill you?
Well, I don't think he's ever. I think all of his offenses have been.
You don't know he's a criminal.
Listen, when you're on drugs, only God knows. You don't know.
Yes.
And no sensible person is going to take a chance. In terms of, if he's coming through the door, you're not gonna. And ask questions later. I'm pretty confident of that.
Personally, I'm 7. This year I'll be 77 years old, and I have never advocated any violence. And I don't advocate for anybody to get themselves in trouble. But I can tell you, I give all those criminals warning out there. I got a Rottweiler mixed with a German Shepherd, and I got a 1-year-old Malinois.
I thought they were legal in Cayman. How'd you get a Malinois in Cayman? Anyway, listen, I don't want to digress because we got a lot to talk about this morning.
But I tell you what, this dog is the best temperament.
Is that him I hear breathing next to you?
No, that's the German Shepherd.
Oh, okay. I hear somebody panting.
But the thing about it is,
it might have been a person panting. I should not be presumptuous that it was a dog, but anyway.
You get 2 for the price of 1 if you come into my house. And I got on my front door, my dogs can make it from my door to the yard, to the road, in 10 seconds can you. But coming back to what I'm saying is, if you break into my house, and I love my dogs, I am not going to try to pull my angry dogs off of some criminal who broke in. There's a potential they could harm me. They gonna have to come with a body bag, because I'm going to leave them alone and then let the courts decide, was that excessive?
All right, honey child, leave us there with those comments. Thank you so much.
All right. Sunday.
Very good. All right. Listen, boy, we got a marathon of a show this morning. Let's start at the very beginning. We are going to first talk about this case of Danielle Brown, who finds herself in a little bit of a tricky situation because she got sticky hands. Okay? Now, if you're a thief, well, you got a problem, and you should probably get some professional help. I think that sometimes people steal because they're just thieves. I don't know why people listen. Be a beggar before you steal, because this is not the lifestyle. So poor little Danielle, she's gone now and changed up her social media, trying to hide. Honey child, you can't hide from nobody. I'm just saying. You should have really thought about that before you stole from your workplace. Okay. She's been a hot mess for a minute. Now, a lot of you are very, very sympathetic, and I totally understand this. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being sympathetic with people. She's locked her profile. Oh my gosh. No, you didn't, girl. We can lock profiles in Cayman now. I didn't think that we could, because that was only available for like people in the US. I guess they've opened it up. Yes, honey child, she got locked her profile. Poor little Tatum. Honey child, you can lock your profile all you want. We've seen everything that we need to see. What I'm going to say to you is you need to pay these people back their $15,000, because they have been more than lenient with you. And for whatever reason, you have decided to ignore the situation until CMR reported on this recent lawsuit of them suing you in this matter. Now, poor Ting, she's going through a bit of a rough patch at the moment. I guess sometimes this is what life, nobody told you life was going to be easy. She recently lost the man that she was legally married to in that fiery accident. Of course, that's unfortunate. A lot of you have said to me, Sandy, we don't really have no sympathy for that situation, because if we're to be honest, everybody in Cayman knows that was a marriage of convenience. Well, I'm not going to be the judge, jury, and executioner here, but what I will say is by all of the investigations that we've undertaken and all of the people who are in the know and who know the source on the street, it does seem like that was very much the case. He was not in a real relationship with her. And of course, we know that legally you have an obligation to notify WORC if you're married to someone and you're no longer in a loving and sustainable relationship with that individual. You're supposed to tell them this person has a girlfriend and this is where the two of them be in West Bay, and he's no longer in the matrimonial home. Straight up. That's what the law says. I'm not making it up. That's exactly what the law says. And when you don't do that, that is actually an offense, just FYI. So those of you who are all about the marriages of convenience, you are committing an offense. Anywho, this matter in relation to the thievery of the over $15,000 doesn't have anything to do with her current situation. Now, I know a lot of you are like, oh, well, why couldn't they wait to file that lawsuit? Why they had to do that now? First of all, the lawsuit was filed before the incident happened. So let's be clear on that part of the story. It was not a situation where they would have known that this was coming down the pipeline for her. Like I said, life just has a way of, things just happen. And, what can you do? Coincidence and time, really. So they filed their lawsuit, and essentially they were filing a number of lawsuits. This is some telecom solutions company. They were the same ones who sued Caribbean Bakery. There was actually a couple other lawsuits that got filed as well. So, they're just it sounds like they're just trying to collect some money. And so this one now with Danielle Brown is one where they say that she owes them a substantial amount of money, and they've given her more than sufficient time to pay it back, and she has not done so, and they want their money. Now, I was a little bit perplexed by this whole story. because I thought to myself, why is this not a criminal case? Because normally when you steal, even $10, you're behind going to be in jail. So I have heard that the Popo are looking for her. I don't know that for a fact, so let me be very, very clear. I have heard that there is a warrant out for her arrest. So what we have here, folks, is them showing all of the money that she has stolen. So I'm going to break down the case here for you so that you guys can understand exactly what the allegations are. And there's some other people that said to me, well, Sandy, since you're on this story, can I also share my experiences with her? And here it is. So I'm like, ooh, honey child, what a hot mess. So let's get it, shall we? All right, Danielle Brown, you guys see her picture here. This is her with the husband, I guess, when he wanted to pretend like he had a wife. And this is her here looking her best fly self, makeup done, hair done, nails done, and all this sort of stuff, right? So they say that she was employed by them in 2014, between July 29, 2014, and September of 2017. During the course of her employment, she failed to properly account for payments received by customers in respect of their PPC machines. And instead, they discovered that she had applied the PPCs for her own personal use. As a result, that is what their lawsuit said, of her conduct, she was unlawfully enriched at the expense of the plaintiff to the tune of some $15,113. In March of 2019, they entered into an agreement where she agreed that she'd provide the plaintiff with full restitution of the said unlawful funds of the $15,113. Needless to say, they gave her what they consider a reasonable amount of time to pay it back of 24 months. And you will see here in this diagram, these were the payments that she made. $820 out of the $15,113. And she stopped paying in 2022, some 2 years ago. She made two payments in 2020, one in 2021 of $100, one in 2022, and then a few $20, $50, $100, and so on in 2019. So the interesting thing about this, really, quite frankly, is that in that space of time, she managed to find herself a husband. I was just telling you all about this dude that she married, the young man there, who unfortunately recently passed away. So she has herself a husband, and said husband and her actually had a wedding of all things. Well, not just any wedding, honey child. The wedding photos, now she's got the account locked, but I saw them all, posted on social media, looking quite fly. Mr. and Mrs., pulled out all the stops for the wedding, shared everything on social media, people living large. Well, I have a philosophy. You can live as large as you want to in life. Nothing wrong with that. As long as you're doing so at your own expense, not at the expense of anybody else. You can't be living large when it's not even your money. Or you can't be living large when you have this kind of thievery happening in your life. So they, I guess, had enough. She made no payments in 2023. As of the date of the filing of this lawsuit, no payments in 2024 either. Nobody can blame these people for doing what they have to do. It is what it is. Sort yourself out. Okay? Danielle, if the police are looking for you now, what I would suggest you do is go ahead and turn yourself in. That's what I would do. Okay? You don't look like, I'm going to say this in the nicest way possible. This is a photo from 2021. She doesn't look like she's hurting in any way, shape, or form. You're still obviously getting plenty of food. Your clothes, I mean, you look good. Pretty girl. She got a pretty face. Always got the makeup on and looking beat, hair done. Y'all think these hairstyles are easy to maintain and cheap to get all these braids and weave and all kind of stuff? Well, I've never had a braid or weave in my head, but I sit there in the salon all the time and I see people walking in with the hair by the pound. And what I can tell you is some of this hair is very expensive. And even if the hair itself is cheap, the labor to get it done is redunculous. It's hell of expensive, honey child. Because, that's the hairstylist is like, look, I got to sit here for 8-10 hours doing your hair. That's going to cost a pretty penny. You are not going to be getting that for cheap. I'm just saying. So, Danielle, sort yourself out, please. Damien said just pay $250 a month with a standing order from your bank and it'll be paid in 5 years. Well, they didn't give her 5 years. They gave her 24 months, which is 2 years, and she still didn't do it. So normally what happens now is these people are no longer going to play game with her. They've sued her, which means that they want all of their money. There's no more payment plans to come. Johan is so clueless. Where did Johan come out from? He's like, what? Getting your hair done takes 8 to 10 hours? Yes, Johan. She seems to like braids. If you are getting your hair braided, right? Putting in all those extension pieces, whatever, and the finer the braid, the more time that it takes. Yes, some people will sit there for 8 to 10 hours or more. They got to be taking breaks. Sometimes they have to do it over 2 days. So, it is what it is. And it's still, let's be honest here. As pretty as she might be, obviously the man didn't care about none of that. He was still out there floundering. I know that's not a word. Floundering, like he's a flounder. Y'all get it? All right. Look, her hair is always on point. What a hot mess. Yes. Work it out, honey child. Work it out. Go pay them people back their money. So let's talk now about the other information. So somebody reached out yesterday and they said, well, Miss Sandy, if you're going to talk about her, can you please include my story into the mix as well? Okay. Let me share with you all what that story is. This person said, and by the way, praise the Lord. Hallelujah. We got more pictures. Stand by. Yep. Hold on. Yes, sir. I can always count on my CMR crew to come on through for me. Wait a minute. Stick a pin. I gotta show y'all how they went all out for the wedding, honey chair. Yeah. She even got time to be in a bridesmaid in somebody else's wedding? What the heck? Yes, sir. They got time. Living their best life. So here's what this person said. Sandy, when you're ready to do a story on Danielle, I'd love to fill you in. The boy has 2 kids on her in her marriage. Lord Jehovah. What a thing. You see now, these marriages of ignorance is what we need to call them. They're not even marriages of convenience. They are marriages of ignorance. Let's continue reading. Yes, sir. What the heat? Who are these people? Oh my gosh. There she is, looking fabulous, man. She always be who does her makeup? All right, let's continue reading, honey child. The boy has 2 kids on her in her marriage. One of the girls he claimed was his sister. Oh, Jesus, no. And had her staying in Danielle's mommy house. She got pregnant and went back to Jamaica and then called Danielle and told her the truth. She's not his sister. She was his woman and she pregnant for him. Tell you how dumb she was. Didn't even smell that they were, I can't say that word under here. Lord. I gotta have to give y'all a screenshot so you can read some of this for yourselves because we pun the radio and there's certain things we can't say pun the radio. Hold on, honey chill. Lord have mercy. I'm just telling you, I don't make it up. I'm just the conduit. All right. Fast forward, he had another child on her and still was with the girl, Cara, he died with. Yes, we knew that. She has been have other man now acting like wife. That part, she been have other man now. Okay. As for her sister, Abigail, WRC needs to investigate their marriage because not even weeks after they married, they left. You mean the man left? And now she's pregnant for another Jamaican man. What a mix-up. Blouse and skirts. What go on around here? Yet they have energy to come on Facebook about carrying feelings. But somebody, husband, mix-up story. She stole money to have big wedding. She stole that money to have a big wedding and was rushing the date because she knew that he didn't want her. Hey, oh my gosh. She's going out there buying other people's husband stuff. Oh, well, girl, if you flossing like this, you better find them people money. I'm just saying. Brand new phone, car. What? Bought somebody a car? Bought my husband car, name brand phone, clothes, was buying out him mommy, his sister, playing rich auntie, and have nothing to show for it. Oh, my goodness. What a heat. Well, honey child, this is one hell of a mix-up. All I can tell you is get yourselves together. The person says 2 years now, her and her husband left, so they haven't been together for 2 years. And now she's pregnant for another man, yet she hasn't informed WORC. Oh, this is a sister now. So the marriages of stupidity run in the family then. Oh, wow. Wow. Y'all not easy though. I mean, no, sir. Woo, what a heat. I don't even know what to say. Y'all ain't got no scruples. This poor Jamaican man, he look at that. The man won't even smile for the wedding photo. He look like he's caught in a like a deer caught in the headlights. Like he legit looks scared. Do we need to rescue him from this marriage? I mean, what is going on here? Look at the expression in his face, the tall guy. He's the one getting married to the little lady there. But really? Look at this one. Even the wedding photo, the man looks scared for true. Wow. So, what I can tell you is, in the meantime, while she's stealing people's money, she is out here getting married, living her best life, getting hair extensions, got a husband, wearing the bonker shorts, them, whatever you guys call them, these batty riders, whatever y'all call them these days, and the whole works. You know, if you can afford to be flossing and living this kind of lifestyle, please find the balance of $14,000 and whatever the change is and pay these people back their money. Okay? All right, Danielle Brown, we done with you, honey child. Get your life together. Romeo, good morning to you. Aliano says, meh, give me a chick with no hair because all of them fake hair chicks. Live Happy says these type of Cayman women can only find the dregs from Jamaica to marry. What the heck are dregs? Dregs? Morning, Siobhan. Johan says, no real man. What? No real man business but a fupa. Hair. Oh, but a fupa, braids, weave, wig, or if you're bald, hashtag real talk. Now, we know you wouldn't be marrying nobody who bald, Johan. I don't know what you're talking about. What a hot mess. Melba says that she's listening for the first time on your show because I'm very busy in the mornings. She says, however, I'd like to share this with you. I'm a widow and I continue to carry on from when my husband left off from our little farm across from our home. But it is very hurtful when I seem to grow for those who like to take the easy way of life and go over the fence and whatever is available. Oh, people are stealing your fruit, Miss Melba. Oh, that's not nice. Put up a little sign. Says no trespassing, no thievery. Everton, please behave yourself. Good morning, Taliji. You tagging people? Who's Roger Rabbit? I don't know. Taliji. What? Taliji. He. I'm not sure. She's tagging all kind of people. She's like, come over here. Jesus, if you got a minute, come and have a look. Okay. Olive says, good morning, Miss Sandy. Good morning. Sister Wives says, Johan, sharing house and everything. I know the real reality show in Cayman is they kind of missed the mark. They going after the wrong crew. They need to figure out how to do a reality show on these types of ladies in Cayman, because those are the ones that would be lit. That reality show, all of you would be glued into. Live Happy says, marriages of ignorance. I'm going to steal that phrase. Go right ahead, child. Romeo, his eyes wide open. I will tell you how to clean it up. Just say clapping cheeks. What the heck is Everton talking about? What in Aunt Jemima pancake mix going on here? Says Leroy. Good morning, Leroy. Leave her pancakes out of this. Lord Jesus. Galaxy says she'll be marrying another one shortly. Probably. What a set of fools we have here. They deserve everything they get. Well, I mean, not just deserving everything they get. I mean, let's be very, very clear what this has, or the impact that this has on our community, the more people that are doing it. To Hunter's point yesterday, Hunter, like I said, a broken clock is right twice a day. He was trying to blame, I mean, you can't blame everything on expats, that's for sure. We need to take accountability, and I'm all about taking accountability. But he missed the mark when he was talking about, like Jamaicans coming here taking over. They're not taking over in the way that you think. They're taking over because of these marriages of ignorance, right? Because the Caymanians are allowing it to happen. Them Jamaicans look like they forcing anybody. This guy look like he's the one being forced. Look good at him. He don't even look like he want to be here. Dude's like, oh man, I just need to get that RERC paperwork. And then boom, right away, he moved on about his business, got another woman, got somebody else pregnant. Listen, you can't keep a man if he don't want you, no matter what you do. You can buy him the sun, the moon, the earth. You can go out of this galaxy and try to buy him something else. If he don't want you, he's only going to use you for those things. I mean, he might come around every once in a while for a little joke, but even that he probably don't want. And then he's out there flossing and living his best life. I'm just saying. Sad, but it is what it is. All right, let's move on. We got a lot to talk about today. Danielle, just finding people that money. Start. Go and have a fish fry, because y'all love to do fish fries. Philip Hydes, we coming to you, honey child. You hang tight. Let's talk about this shocking police story, which all know. Yeah, what are dregs? Dregs are the drips left at the bottom of the barrel or glass. The bottom of the barrel? Like the alcohol barrel? What kind of barrel y'all talking about? Amoy here to defend her brother. Which brother is yours now? Which man is your brother? Says, listen to me. My brother's a real man. He didn't get anyone pregnant on his wife. His wife was the one who betrayed him. What the heck does that mean? Tried him? What is that? Whew. Today's vocabulary day, because y'all done gone and lost me. Amoy, what does that mean? What is tried? Trade him? She traded him in? I don't know. Dregs means no good. Oh, Shaka Zulu says it also known as backwash. Ew. Daniel is a little witch and his whole family. Who the hell's Daniel? Lord have mercy. The dregs are the scum at the bottom of a pot. Oh, Lord. I have to I'm gonna have to get some put that down in a little book of vocabulary, book of words. Amani says lots of mothers out there acting as Christians yet encouraging their daughters to bring home both grandkids and fake son-in-laws. Dregs is the sediment that settles at the bottom of the glass of wine/juice, etc. In other words, the left back. I got it now, honey child. Not the kind of thing that you would want. Not at all. Wow. Symphony of the Seas says that the Philip guy not answer you yet or what? Oh, no. We stay tuned. Be what? How do you say it? Trade? What? How do you say it? Supposed to be betrayed. Oh, my bad. Betrayed. Oh, I see. Lord Jesus, this is Talk by Phonics Day, because I totally did not get that. I'm so sorry. All she's trying to say was the wife who betrayed him. Ay, caramba. And the wife who breed on him. And the funny part is, it's the same, that she's playing rich auntie for. Danielle shouldn't be grieving because they were not together. They both have multiple partners. The wife is who breed on him. That is, somebody actually sent me the dictionary.com. That word is in dictionary.com. Are you kidding me? Thank you, honey child. I appreciate the lesson this morning in colloquial terms. Always happy to learn. Let me see how dictionary.com pronounces it. Hold on now. We didn't get it this morning. Dregs. The remnants of a liquid left in the container together with any other sentiment. Dregs. The most worthless part or parts of something is called the dregs. There you go. Word of the day, people. Word of the day. Dregs. Y'all heard it? Messy. Dregs. All right. New word for me, honey child. The dregs around the place. Oh, that mean that they worthless bad. Y'all pull out the big words on me this morning. Them worthless bad. All right, Everton, Makara, good morning. Who's Roger Rabbit? I don't even know. Meow with steamed fish, sweet like CMR. Vicky having some steamed fish this morning. Johan says boss move. I don't know what he's talking about, but come on through. Let me see here now. That's what Megan did now. Oh Lord, no scruples. You mean no sense? What is a BBW? Y'all gotta don't tax my brain this morning with too many new words. Lord Jesus. Hello, Miss Aline. Says it's spicy in here already. Juk. Never heard that term before. Miss Marion, are you sure you don't know what that one means? We're learning some new words today, Auntie. Yes, my love. So it go, Melissa. Says, good morning. Listen, Junior's a real man. What does that mean exactly? He didn't get any child in his marriage. They were separated when he get the child, and it's only one child, but he's still married to her. Melissa. Yeah, mira, ¿entiendes English? If you are still married for the purposes of immigration, and you've not notified them that this is a fake marriage, the two of you not together, you out there, getting your joke from whoever, and he get his joke from hello, that is not a real marriage. And so you can't on the one hand say, oh, they were separated, and that's when he got his child. Did she go around telling people they were separated? No. So immigration didn't know they were separated because he wouldn't been here. Okay? They would have taken that RERC right back from him and sent him on his merry way. So let's not play semantics now. If you're separated, you notify WRC that you're separated and that you're no longer married. I'm just saying. Oh, BBW stands for Big Beautiful Women. Oh, my apologies. I didn't even know. Anyway, it's a bag of mix-up. and then some. Hopeton Roach, I don't know who he's talking to. Hopeton and his feelings. How are you connected to the situation, Hopeton? Which one of them, your man or woman or wannabe mixed up situation? Who you telling to suck their whatever? Come on, sir. Melissa is the big sister to Junior, so listen, all these lies need to stop now. Oh, well then, Melissa, I'm sorry, but you do know that you're probably not the most impartial person, if that was your big brother. Or your little brother. You said you're the big sister? Okay. Anyway, that part of the equation is to explain some of her behavior. So I don't know. She get my brother locked up for nothing. What? Girl, you look like you need to be a guest on the show. The wife got your brother locked up? This seems to be getting more interesting by the minute. Anyway, she's a thief. And I don't know if she had a life insurance policy in your brother, but I'm just thinking out the box here. If she does, or she did, now she could use some of that money to pay back the thieving money that she took from them people. Marshall says, this is a crazy show this morning. She betrayed him, and then he turned around and breed his supposed sister. What a hot mess. I mean, who does that? Oh, Hopeton is the brother from Jamaica. Says, add me, I'm his brother. Hopeton, you can call the show if you have something to say, but what I would say to you is this isn't so much about your brother. Your brother just is collateral damage at this point. People are talking about their relationship because the spotlight is on Danielle and her hot mess of a situation. But you're trying to say that your brother didn't have a woman in the matrimonial home claiming that that was his sister until she got pregnant and went back to Jamaica? I mean, that story sounds a bit wild. So the sister now is saying, listen, the woman married to when she go take a next man. Hopeton wants to come in the live. Hopeton, you have WhatsApp? Give us a call. Let me show you the phone number. Please know the rules are no profanity. So you can't come on here telling people to suck this, that, the next thing. That won't be allowed. Telephone number right there, 345-936-2626. You can call toll free on the WhatsApp. What a mess. Chanel, good morning. Blackberry says, in all honesty, yes, so nice. The comments have me. I mean, I'm trying to read just some of them, and it's like, oh my gosh. What a heat. Shaka says BBW has several meanings, no doubt. Caymanians don't pay life insurance until house involved, so nope, laughing out loud, says Romeo. What a mess. Oh, she did have insurance on him, says Melissa. Honey child, I believe this calls for a piece of watermelon. The juiciness. Wow. She had insurance on him? Well, a lot of people can get paid back. Wow. Go on, Mr. Hopeton. Bring yourself. What's up? Link us on the WhatsApp. We want to hear your version of what happened. So you're trying to say that she was using your brother? Oh my God. Somebody says that flashing on air is a bit much. Does something to their eyes. Just don't look at that part, honey child. Pretty Dawn says, listen, he wasn't nothing before he met Dan, so BFFR. What the heck is BFFR? Y'all with the acronyms. He wasn't nothing before he met Dan. Pretty Dawn, those might be fighting words with his brother and sister here today. But I'm going to say this much. A lot of y'all picking up people who were nothing and before, nothing after, and nothing during. So who you gonna blame for that? You're certainly not blaming the husband. Blame her. Was she picking up somebody who's nothing? Was she somebody? Was she something? Clearly not. What she is a thief. I'm just saying. Now, her own family. So that that's what that means. BFF. Yes, sir. Y'all bringing it today. Her own family members from North Side said that he was actually with her own cousin. So I don't know how many. I'm like, what? My brain can't keep up with all the mix up in this story. Honestly. So he had something with her cousin too? Lord Jesus. And then she found out about that? Using yo, don't make me loud up and hear what he had before he met her. Well, did he get anything while he was with her though? I'm just saying. I'm not so sure. And whatever she had, it looked to me like she was stealing money to have that lifestyle.
Hello.
She not got nothing either. Good morning, caller.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, sir. You're the young man who is Junior's brother?
Yes, and I'm first going to apologize because of how we were brought up for the
Mr.
profanity
Hilton.
I sent.
Yes, sir. All right.
Yes.
So what is your take on this mix-up situation, Hilton?
Okay, here is it. Because, number one, I hear what you all are saying, right? But first things first, I need to just get this out the way.
Right.
These are human beings we're talking about.
Yes, this is true.
They had their own lives, and they did whatever they do. It might not look appealing to others on the outside, but everyone is forgetting that a life is lost.
Yes. And let me
these
say
lives
this.
that are lost.
Let me extend my
all
condolences.
of these individuals
yes
has families.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
And it's very painful. Very painful to be a family member in our griefs and keep seeing things like this popping up, even though that's what is in your media circle. But all we as the family is asking to give us some respect in our griefs.
Yes.
Right?
Okay. But you understand.
I'm gonna ask.
You understand why Danielle is in the news, right? You understand how this happened with her stealing this money. Now, first of all, did you know anything about the money that she stole? I mean, did your brother ever tell you that she had gotten in trouble for stealing money?
I was aware of that over the media.
Oh, so you're just finding out yourself. Okay. So let me just explain this situation, right? That situation there wasn't anything new. As you can see, she stole the money years ago. Came into an agreement with them in 2019. It just so happens quite coincidentally that they are suing her at the same time that your brother, the timing, is very, very close.
But you people, right, are going beyond that.
Because this is the way of the world. I mean, something happens and people start saying, "Oh yes, I know Danielle because of this."
So
this,
if
this,
it
and
was
this.
the other way around, sorry, I'm not cutting her, but if it was the other way around, right? Because we also have a beautiful island, because we are all Caribbean people. So if it was the other way around and one of your people from Cayman came to Jamaica, got caught up in this mess and lost their life.
Yes.
I am swearing for every Jamaican citizen alive. I know that we wouldn't be dealing with the situation like this.
I'm not too sure about that. Have you ever watched Jamaica media? You don't sound like you're in Jamaica anymore. Where are you now?
Eternal Father. Right? That's
Andre Stevens, my friend Andre, he would be talking about it same way. All the mix up, all the sauce. I've watched some of his shows, and in fact,
yes, but when it comes on to debt,
he would talk about it same way.
Not in the midst. They aren't even laid to rest as yet.
People go missing in Jamaica, and they find body parts, and they start talking about who she was sleeping with, what the man was doing, who he was cheating with, is he a suspect, this, that, next thing, always the same mix-up.
Okay, point taken. All right. Point taken. But as the family member, right?
Yes, and you don't have to listen. Let me encourage you. I sympathize with you. And what I would say is,
I'm going to say this for all of you to know.
Yes,
None
sir.
of us is saying that what they did in their lives, because they are married legally, right? You said it is illegal or whatever. We have no say over what they did in their marriage. But we as a family member, we spoke to them in and out. And anyone that objects to what I'm saying can prove their point to anyone over there who is relevant, who needs to know. But it cannot be because of cultural background and differences. You guys are saying we don't belong somewhere and we are.
No, man, that's not what we're saying at all. That's not what we're saying at all.
No,
let me be very
clear.
As if, no, man. Let me clarify it for you.
I feel like you guys are attacking the culture.
No,
this is more than the death of my brother and him having kids outside of his marriage and stuff.
That's culture.
I know you are going to talk about it.
Well,
no, that's not culture.
Oh, okay.
That's not culture.
Okay.
I said to how you guys are discussing it. I can't stop you from discussing it, you know.
Yes.
But how you guys are attacking Jamaicans.
We're not attacking Jamaicans. All right, let me bring it home, Hopeton. Give me 1 second. It's probably helpful if I explain a couple things to you, right? I don't know how much you know about Jamaican Cayman, but Jamaican Cayman have very close ties historically. A lot of Caymanians have Jamaican family members. We're married to Jamaicans. My grandfather is from St. Elizabeth. So I have direct Jamaican connections. My husband is Jamaican. This isn't about attacking Jamaicans. What we're talking about
don't understand.
Hold on. Let me explain to you. What we're talking about is there is a segment of our population here in the Cayman Islands that engages in what is called marriages of convenience, right? These marriages of convenience are actually against the law. This has nothing to do with culture. This is what is legal and what is not legal.
Thanks for fighting me.
Yes, sir. So the wife
I'm going
now,
to address
the Caymanian wife. Hold on.
When you're finished.
Yes, the Caymanian wife. She is the one who must take 90% of the blame for this, because I'm sure your brother did not force her to get married. So let me be very clear when we're having these discussions where I am a host is putting the blame.
Okay.
It is 90% on the Caymanian spouse and 10% on the other spouse, because the question becomes, why would he marry her if he's going to be out there living his best single life?
I'm going to answer what I think I know.
Okay.
On behalf of our family, and so that we can put at least a little decency to the mess that is going on, right?
Okay.
In the long and short of it, right? The now deceased Junior Whitaker,
yes, sir,
came to your island via a sponsor, and a work permit was granted by a local businessman, right?
Yes. And he was working for that business.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm being honest, right?
Yes.
This is the shady part to me. Okay. I'm not clear what happened when his work permit had expired. So he was basically legally on his way out of the island.
Okay.
Right? He met this lovely young lady.
That's debatable.
Before all of this transpired, before his time was out and stuff. They were in a relationship.
This would be the same Danielle Brown.
Danielle.
Okay, because when you said lovely young lady, I was a bit confused, but go on.
Well, she is a human being. We don't tear down people.
I'm not saying she's not a human being, but I mean, the record shows she's actually a thief, but go on.
But she's still a human being.
But that's not what you said.
Remember Jesus on the cross?
Yes, but you never said this human being. You said she's a lovely young lady. So I'm just saying that might be debatable depending on who you speak with. But carry on. It's all right.
Okay, no problem.
Okay.
I just need this to stop because a lot of people is saying what they don't know. So I'm telling what I know. right? As a brother, as a family member.
Yes.
They met when he was on his legal tenure. The time was running out. And because they were in a relationship, they decided that they love enough. To me, they love each other enough. They're ready to tie the knot so that his legal things could be more smoother. So to me, it's not a marriage of.
But that's
what
exactly what a marriage of convenience is.
But they were in a relationship. A marriage of convenience is like, I don't know you. I came and I pay you.
No. It doesn't have to be quite. It doesn't have to be quite that drastic, right? Let me ask you a question then, right? If he was not having this pressure from his work permit situation, do you think your brother would have married her?
Yes, without a doubt. Yes. You know why? Because they loved each other. I saw that with my own two eyes. Every time they visited Jamaica when I was there, I could see love. And to be honest,
yes,
she is a big figure and he's a way smaller.
Okay.
So people would say it's for the money, or she didn't have no money.
We know culturally, right? Jamaican men love big women, you know.
They were in love.
Yeah, that not got nothing to
do
do
were
with.
In love. And you see what the kids.
Jamaican men love a challenge.
They were in love. Even though.
So how is it that you're in love and then almost immediately you're out there having these extramarital affairs? He's not living in the matrimonial home. He's got a girlfriend, West Bay, that he's living with. That doesn't speak to me of people who are in love.
You see the mix up of everything.
Yes.
Part of it is visible. Okay. Sorry for the listing, but you know the word I'm trying to pronounce, right? And we all keep forgetting. We're all human beings. I'm not saying it is right, but it's what happened. Right? And I'm going to put some respect on Danielle because she might not want all the information out there because she is also in grief, despite we as a family are not really seeing eye to eye right now.
Oh.
She was married to him legally. They were in love and they were separated. Right?
How long were they separated for? Because they haven't been married for very long.
He's dead now. So what's the point you're trying to make?
No, I'm trying to get some clarity because you said you're here to clarify certain things for us, right? And so I'm asking a question to try to clarify. So, I mean, yes, we obviously know that he's passed on, but I'm just trying to say they weren't married for very long. So at what point in the marriage were they separated, or you don't know that?
Yes, I know that, but you still have to remember, this is the media. I'm not coming on the media to light up everything. I'm just trying to clear up what I can clear up, right?
But you can't give us half the story and not the rest of it, because then... What do you mean?
So with the separation, right? I'm not fully aware of how long they are separated, but
Can I tell you something, Hopeton? Let me ask you a question. Did you know that when a foreign national marries a Caymanian and he gets immigration benefits as a result of that marriage, and then they separate, do you know that she is supposed to notify immigration of the separation?
That's the point I'm trying to bring across. No.
Oh.
Give me 1 second. I'm clocking into work.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Yes.
0606.
720.
0606. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Yes, no problem.
Yeah, I got a little distracted. Where were we?
So you were saying that this now is the...
you said she should have reported.
Yes, that's a legal obligation on her part.
Okay. And as a human being, I just told you that they were in love. Right? Even though she went as far as what I can understand, they had some problems and she had him locked up. She reported him to the police and whatever. But
reported him for what, may I ask?
I'm not going to disclose what I don't know. I'm telling you what I know.
All right.
Okay. Right? I'm being honest.
Yes.
I know that they were in love. So even though my brother was or whatever, doing her dirt as what you guys are putting out there or what has happened, she still had a soft spot for this person. Me and you, nobody outside of what they have can have control over them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's just sad that this lady was in a relationship, got married, things got sour, they separated, but still was looking out for each other because that's a typical human being thing, right? We cannot fight love, despite of what people on the outside are seeing based on your actions. Right? Not saying that I'm right, I'm just saying about.
Let me ask you a question, right? Because you keep saying that they were in love, and I mean, I know that that's something that you're making an assumption about, but
it's not an assumption.
Okay, well, let me ask you this: a person who is in love with somebody else, 3 weeks after they get married, are they DMing other women, trying to get together with some other woman that they don't really know that well? Talking about, can we talk, or what do we have in common? What hobbies, this and that? Does that sound like a man who's in love with his wife?
Proof of that?
Boy, listen here.
That doesn't sound like someone that
is in love. That's right. So I'm going to be honest with you. That. Don't ever ask CMR to produce the proof, because we can pull up the DMs with your brother messaging people, and you would be shocked and surprised. So now you might want to reconsider whether you thought he was in love,
right? We're asking. I'm admitting, right?
Yes.
Things wasn't the way it was supposed to go. We talked to them, right?
Right.
But I'm asking. You said you're not after him, and you're after her, and not really after her, but
after her either.
The whole situation as a female, she should have been, a very hot mess.
Yes.
Well, okay, I'm not debating on what anyone else did in their life, right? But she's also in grief. You must always remember that. It's not like she killed someone,
No, I mean,
even though you said she committed a crime by stealing, I don't have any proof of that. That's what you guys are putting out there, right?
Well, she obviously agreed to it herself, or she would not have agreed to pay back the money. They have an agreement with her in writing where she said that she'd pay back the $15,000. Meanwhile, she can find money for wedding and buying people car, trying to buy other people phone, name brand phone, and all kind of stuff.
Yes, I hear you. What I'm saying, right? Despite all of that, they were in a relationship. The guy is passed and she's in grief. We also are in grief. I personally don't care about Danielle. She knows that. I'm not going to go no further.
Your sister says, ask her why she and her mother try to diss him. I mean,
well, as a Jamaican, I understand what she's asking.
Yes.
And being that she put it there, I'm going to say, who said it, Melissa?
Yes, your sister.
Which one of your sisters?
Oh, gosh. Hold on. Melissa.
Yeah. So she's might be asking, I don't know of the nature of the disrespect, but I know that he was put out of the house, something like that. Maybe that's what she's asking. I really don't want to put everything out that is not relevant to us in our grief.
Mm-hmm.
You guys I understand how the media works, right?
Mm-hmm.
I understand your job on the media right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I know you also understand grief.
Mm-hmm.
I know you also understand grief. And
Yes.
I'm talking from the mother's behalf, and the father has not even shed a tear because of the deep grief that he has.
Mm-hmm.
Because why? We talk to them. And I'm not saying him, we're saying them.
Mm-hmm.
We talk to them both about their lifestyle and what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And how,
who's Joshua Douglas? He's your family member as well? Joshua Douglas?
I'm not. Sometimes we use other names, so I have to see the
because
picture.
he seems to know a bit about it as well. He said enough disrespect the youth, get him from she and her mother. And last time a police, the mother take out the house with him and she was living. But maybe they put him out of the house because he DMing women and getting with women. I mean, no man not gonna be up in my house if you're doing all of that.
Yeah, that's true. I'm with you 100% on that. I'm with you 100% on that. But hear me out now, right? This is the world that we're living in. Jamaican men or men in general have a stigma. It's not a good one, but it's mostly a bad stigma. And I'm asking you, right? I know it's not him alone, right? And no, let me take that back. I don't want to sound stupid on here, right?
Okay.
I really don't want to sound stupid, but what I'm trying to get across, I'm not living in Jamaica anymore. I'm away in the next country, right? You can, as the number came up, you can see the area code, but I don't wish to disclose that, right?
No problem.
I basically venture out to start a new life.
Yes.
So that means I'm straight, so it's going to be a female, right? I'm with a particular female. And if things start to get bad, remember, she's the one I have. But she has only turned to if me and her have a fallout. If me as a man do her dirt and she thinks she can control me in the fact that I must stop doing what I'm doing to hurt her, she's going to turn to her family. Right?
Okay.
This is my point now. You as a mother are going to look out for your child, which is that's her daughter, right? But in the process of what you're doing, even though that might have hurted, you must also remember that he's an immigrant and your daughter is all he had. Even though I never think about what I was doing to hurt her.
Apparently she was not all he had because he had other women. I'm just saying. If you can find comfort in the arms of another woman, then that's not all you got.
Let me ask you.
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you, right? You know that they have a saying that all men are cheaters, right? Even though that's not true.
I haven't heard all men. So
most men are whatever. You know the phrase I'm trying to come across.
You can find some good men out there.
I can say personally, I think that I am one, but not all men think the same, right? But it can't be a case where your son is somewhere else, and because of the mistreatment of his spouse, you as the mother is going to respect in some ways where you could have done it legally, as in go to the courts then, ask for what's its name? Restraining order and stuff like that. not throwing someone out on the face because of personal differences, even though relationship wise I did you something wrong. It's inhumane. As in, take two diplomatic countries at war then. But the embassy has people there. The two countries, even though they are at war, gonna find to get their people without a shot being fired. So that's where the family is coming from when they say she and his mom disrespected him. And we when they come to Jamaica, we welcome them with open arms. Right? Because it's in our culture to treat people good.
Okay.
So I'm not defending no actions of my brother that when he was in his marriage or what he has done. You notice I haven't said anything about he was right or he was wrong. I'm saying I'm basically the big finger. This is what his father would have said. On a whole hand, you have 5 fingers. I am the big finger, the one that is on the side.
Okay.
Right? So to wrap up everything, all we're asking, even though your guys are doing what you do best as your job, we're in grief.
Yes.
And even though everything is coming to light, please remember us in grief.
All right.
Because it's not easy on us. Because we are not he's dead.
Yes.
He is dead. We're not the one who did it.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean,
Even though we talk to them,
our condolences go out to the family. And I think it's so, you know why it came up, and I'm going to be very, very honest with you. Like I said, Cayman is very similar to Jamaica, that people talk and you get the source and what's happening, the whole mix up. But one of the most interesting things was that he actually died with the woman that he was, the other woman, at least one of his other women that he was in a relationship with. So people found that to be very, very interesting.
See, that is strange, yes. Because I'm telling them all, we're not separated legally as yet, but it was to be in the process. We cannot control that. But physically, they weren't in a relationship.
Then immigration should have been notified. And the fact that neither party did that is a
did
problem.
not happen.
Yes. All right.
So
Mr. Holton, I appreciate you calling this morning to try to shed some light on this situation. It's just a hot mess. And it just shows you, people make poor decisions.
We're just asking for respect in our grief.
Yes.
That's all we're asking.
Okay,
because he's dead. It's not us that did it. And we are the ones in mourning. Yeah. And we feel like it's us you're talking to. I'm being honest with you.
Yeah. And this is
we
why
can't
I
be
always
mourning
tell
a
people.
Death of a loved one.
Can I tell you something, Hope?
And
this is what I always tell people. Yes. The show is not for everyone. And not every topic is for everybody either. Some days you're like, you know what? Protect your mental health. That's not the show that I need to listen to today. You have to make that judgment call for yourself. Nobody would be upset with you. Even your sister, even if she's here, if she tell you, hey, Optan, brother, them talking about, this and that, you just tell her, listen, I don't want to hear it. I'm in my own personal grief. I'm going to protect my own mental stability and whatever. And you do not tune in. Because you can't stop people from talking, especially when your life is this hot mess of a situation, people are going to talk. You protect yourself and you do not tune in. You do what you have to do. Like you said, you've moved away from Jamaica. You're trying to have a better life for yourself. Sometimes you just have to leave people and their mess that they've created all to themselves.
Okay, no problem.
That's my advice. All right?
Yeah.
All right, Hopeton. Again, condolences.
Enjoy the rest
thank you so much for the call.
Yeah.
Okay, dear.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, dear. Bye-bye. All right. What a hot mess. Somebody say poor Hopeton, bless his heart. So somebody says Junior have a baby, mother and Frank sound. The baby is 1 year plus. Wow. Hot mess. Anyway, let's move on. Very, very sad situation. Lisa says, yes, he's dead. He did it himself. So if you don't want to hear the truth, sign off, Bobo. Ervelyn says that's right. RMR says, dude is justifying his marriage of convenience. Time to head back home or be persecuted in prison and then deported. I mean, he doesn't even seem to really understand what a marriage of convenience is, but it is interesting that he shed some light on the timing of everything. And one of the reasons being the whole immigration situation. That's the very definition of marriage of convenience. And you don't marry someone that you love and 3 weeks later you're in other people's DMs trying to get with them. No, Bobo. I mean, it wasn't even a 6-month honeymoon period. What am I hearing? So Sandra says he's talking about respect them in their grief. How about them having respect for the Cayman Islands and its people who gave these people a chance to live a good life amongst us? We deserve better. We can't talk all the ish he wants. We in a mess. Bottom line, all around is very disrespectful to Cayman. Jeffrey says, I literally burst out laughing at the stoplight, resulting in me spitting out my coffee. Lord, Jeffrey, all over my car when Sandy said, Jamaicans like a challenge when it comes to big yells. Well, it is the truth. Ervelyn says, yes, it's sweet, it's sweet, it's sweet. Aye. Jim, good morning, says maybe him and Melissa should not be listening to today's show, or at least as part of the show, since it's upsetting to them, go and grieve in peace. And that's correct. India says, I don't understand where he's coming from, but he realized he doesn't have to listen to CMR, right? Mm-hmm. What a hot mess. I don't know. Sarah Sue joining us this morning. Good morning, Sarah Sue from the Brack. Big shout out to our Brackers and people in Little Cayman. Symphony of the Sea says we have a moral moment for like half hour. Almost Cayman still. The philosophy getting stale now. Lord. To treat foreigners good because of that moolah, just saying, says Faded Mary Jean. All right. So Angela says she was in love with him, not him. Oh, what a mess. Natasha says he does not understand marriage of convenience, and this is a fraud committed against the country. And that is a good point. It's a very, very serious offense, actually. And I think they should start attaching some jail time to it. And maybe we would see people thinking twice. Shamar says, so why is he mentally abusing her about her weight, etc.? She wasn't big when they were married. I've heard that as well. And she looks like she's always been big. So, I mean, obviously when he married her a couple of years ago, she was a big woman. But I have also heard that he used her weight. He weaponized her weight and used that against her. Listen, you can't marry a big woman and you talk about you up for the challenge. And then, you have a problem with it afterwards. Tiffany says, boy, bye. At this point, Jamaica invented mix-up. Somebody said to get Andre Stevens on the phone. He'll tell you, listen, we don't do no more mix-up. Yes, Jamaicans are the queen and kings of mix-up stories. So when he said that they wouldn't do that in Jamaica, I was like, Erks, you might want to pump the brakes on that part of the debate because that is not even, that's funny, but that ain't. Faded Mary Jane says, lies. They would be worse. Exactly. They'd be bringing out all the baby mamas. Oh, she said, scratch your back. Yes, mums. Blackberry said, sorry, sir. Stop tell lie. Everybody chat. Everybody, regardless of timing. It happens. And no nation is apart from that. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about a Caymanian mix-up man now. His name is Philip Philip Hydes, sorry. My apologies to all the Ebankses out there. All right, some people are born a crook. Somebody said, please play the song, I Love My Fatty. Lord Jesus. Yes, okay, listen, we got something serious to announce this morning. There has been, unfortunately, a young lady who has committed suicide this morning. This is extremely sad news. We heard about it right away. I didn't want to say it initially, but it's down Magellan Key, down in that area. Around 7:30 this morning, as she was discovered. We don't have any of the details yet. I'm being told that it is a teenager. Again, we're talking about protecting your mental health. Listen, our young people are suffering, and I think that they need to reach out. There are more resources now than ever for them, and I'm very much aware that really and truly that's because they really do need it. So there's Alex Panton Foundation. There are other services out there. Just pick up the phone and call somebody for help. If you're feeling, listen, just don't do it, right? There's always tomorrow. So we don't have any details yet. I don't think it's a Caymanian, because if it was at this point, I probably would have heard already, but it doesn't matter. A life lost to suicide is a life lost to suicide. Just a couple of weeks ago, we had another teenager in West Bay, a Caymanian young lady who took her life as well. So, I mean, I think our young people are really crying out for help. So this is very, very unfortunate situation this morning. So when we know more, we'll certainly tell you guys of some of what we can tell you. I can also give you a quick update before we move on to Philip. I can tell you that the situation with the CBC officer, I'm understanding that his condition hasn't changed. He's still very much critical. And, all of your prayers are needed for him to probably have a full recovery. So please keep that family in your thoughts and prayers. I have had people reach out to me about, exactly what the reason was behind the attack. The police will carry out their investigations, and no doubt at some point in time, that information may come out if there is a trial. And what I would say is, somebody emailed me yesterday, and I heard what they said. And whilst I'm no detective, I do think that there's probably some truth to that. Sad situation. No reason. There's no justification or reason for what they did, regardless. All right, let's move on. Let me briefly talk about the West Bay police officer. I think the RCIPS, I asked them about it. They have not said anything. Let me just double check my messages. Sometimes their messages get a little bit lost. Oh, they said that they reported on it. Police woman arrested following domestic incident. Oh, but y'all not easy. That was it? Oh, but they didn't tell us the whole story. You see, this is why you can't believe the police. Not for nothing. But they're not going to give you the source about what's really going on. So their statement. Oh. Yes, sir. Mess with them. Video call. Hello, caller. Hello? Hello? I don't think she meant to call us on a video call. She looks like she's walking into an office or something. Okay, I'm guessing that was a misdial. Okay, so they reported that there was a domestic incident where a woman was arrested. What they didn't tell us is that this woman is an RCIPS officer. Yeah. You think that's a little bit of an important detail, Popo, that you could have informed us about? All right. So I gotta give y'all the straight story because I ain't not into no half stories around. Yeah. So this is what the police said. We asked them about it and they said, oh yeah, we told you about it already. They said a woman aged 23 of Town has been arrested in suspicion of theft and aggravated burglary in relation to a domestic incident. She's currently on police bail pending further investigation. Oh, she's a probationary officer with the RCIPS and she's been suspended from duty. I'm sorry, my bad. They kind of told us a little bit. All right. Well, I'm going to tell you guys the rest of the story because the rest of the story is extremely interesting. Yeah, we got her picture, we got her name, we're going to tell you all about it. So she's in a relationship with this other woman. She's got a girlfriend. Okay. And apparently her and the girlfriend, as the police said, had some kind of fight, domestic incident. She took her phone. But they have her arrested in suspicion of theft and aggravated burglary. Anyway, she stole her phone and God knows what else, right? But the girlfriend works for the consulate office, U.S. consulate office. Yes? Right here in the Cayman Islands. And so when the U.S. consulate office heard that their property, because the phone belongs to them, that their property had been taken, I understand sources have revealed that the Secret Service agents or whoever they are, I don't know would they be Secret Service? Who would they be? CIA? FBI? I mean, I don't know. But anyhow, she, these Secret Service or whoever came down here, they would have met with internal investigation folks at the RCIPS, like they called them in and they're like, listen here now, Bobo, what is going on? She needs to hand us that phone right now. They called her in. They're like, give us our phone. That's U.S. property. What do you think you're doing? Me dear child, she is in one bag of trouble. They're not going to jump on a plane and just come down for any and everybody kind of a situation. But they are not happy. So she had to give back the phone. She's been suspended from duty, been arrested for theft and burglary, aggravated burglary, because it's U.S. property, U.S. government property. I'm thinking to myself, girl, was it worth it? All right. Y'all want to know who she is? Supposedly she's a Caymanian, but I have my suspicions that this is another mix-up situation. Want to be Caymanian, honey child, but I don't know where we'd be getting them from. But anywho, once I show her a picture here in a second, I'm sure all of you will be able to tell me exactly who she for, who her mama is, who her papi be, and where she come up from. I'm just saying. Give me a second here, honey child. Because she look like she a hot mess and then some. That's all I'm saying. Hold on. Young girl too. I mean, this is the part that is so disappointing. But I believe she's from Jamaica. And I'm going to tell you why I say that. Because when I look at her social media page, there are pictures and stuff that look like she has been hanging out in the countryside in Jamaica. But the police are supposed to, well, I guess they can hire anybody, can't they? Yeah. Yes, they hire a lot of Jamaicans. Never mind. But she might have been living in Cayman for a minute. I don't know, because she's quite young. I'm not quite sure what the situation is there. But anywho, maybe she's married to a Caymanian, another one of them situations. But let me show y'all a few pictures here, and perhaps you can assist in identifying who she is. Okay, honey child. Does anybody know class assignment of the day? Does anybody know this young lady? She has a Thompson last name. Her name is Somali Thompson. Very unusual first name. Anybody know Somali? Anybody know her? And her? Anybody? Students? Mm-hmm. And her? And her? And her. She looks different in every picture, so I got to show y'all because it might ring a bell. So all of this is over a romance gone bad with her girlfriend. What a hot mess. It was the FBI or the CIA? Which one? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It can't be Secret Service. That's right, because they're for the president only. CIA, maybe? FBI does stuff internally, right? But who's in charge of like the foreign offices, the consulate offices and stuff like that? Would that be the secrets? That would be who? The CIA? One of them came down, honey child. Strong Will says, don't mess with the USA. You know what is so funny? They're going to pull out all the guns for a phone situation. I mean, I'm not saying that it's, I'm not saying. But what I'm saying is, let's be very realistic here. Yet y'all don't want your citizens to come to our country and be held accountable when they bring in bullets and guns. State Department. Oh, my apologies. It was the State Department that came down. Thank you, sir. The State Department came down for her. The State Department visited the Cayman Islands. Oh, my God. Wow. Sensitive U.S. citizen passport information. Ooh, honey child. Yes, sir. I tell you what, she's in trouble because now they're going to be watching that case. I'm sure they want to make an example out of her that you don't ever go mess with somebody who works for the consulate and take their work phone. Oh, no, Bobo. I got sensitive information on it. Anyway, honey child, we wish you the best of luck, young lady. Looks like you're out of a job. You're out of a girlfriend. You got the State Department breathing down your neck. You probably won't be able to get a U.S. visa. I'm just saying, after all of that, what's she gonna do? Oh my gosh. I mean, I don't know. Well, Marshall says it makes you do crazy things. Whether it's worth it or not is a whole different question. Ingrid said, I've seen her before. Special attaché to the consulate. Yeah, State Department. Thank you, Greg. Wow. Anyway, honey child, be careful out there, folks. Sometimes you get kind of crazy for a situation. So Corbin says a phone is considered a gateway device. Gateway to what? Gateway to hell? Johan says, don't judge. Real relationships are not perfect and are real work, even if you work at the RCIPS. Here, Johan. Johan, you're such a hot mess. What the hell? Don't judge. Johan, she's been arrested by her employer. The Popos arrested one of their own. Hello. Nosa? Oh my gosh. Well, girl, if you had a U.S. visa, they done cancel that. Galaxy Quest says, yeah, well, the State Department isn't a Slack Cayman agency. They don't play. And no one will be calling their MP to ask them to intervene. Somebody says, such a pretty girl. If you Cayman, well, I tell you, Cayman got some things going on. And I better try to learn to be skeptical or they're going to eat your dinner. Oh, mess. Paul says she's on the U.S. stop list for life, right? She herself could be an American. I'm gonna guess Jamaican connections, probably some Cayman connections too. I see that she says that I tell you what, nobody seems to know who she is. but it seems like she's related to the Thompsons from Georgetown, Robert Thompson and a bunch of them. So Daddy Warren, aren't you related to them? So you can tell us her connections. But somebody, she says that Robert Thompson Jr. is her brother. That's the one who does the body lifting and stuff like that. But then her sister is there in Jamaica. So there's some kind of mixed up story. Her sister's from Kingston, Jamaica, but then her brother is Robert Thompson Jr. Well, y'all know Caymanians love mix up anyway. But anywho, there you go. It's unfortunate because, honey child, you found yourself in a world of trouble now with the police and done gone and lost your good little RCIPS job. So her father is Robert Thompson. Oh, her mama must be Jamaican then. I see. So somebody says yes. Her father is Robert Thompson. Her uncle is John Thompson. Her brother is Robert Thompson Jr. and her mother is Jamaican. Aye, you see that? Mystery solved, just like that. I tell you, Caymanians gonna get it. Okay. Oh no, that's her. She looks so different. You see? Oh. Okay. What a hot mess. All right, we know who she is now. Connection solved. Yep. My goodness. Somali Rihanna Thompson. Okay, honey child. Okay. All right. So that's that. Father and brother, she had her dad dirty. Lord have mercy. No, man, you can't say that. You can't say that. Lord Jesus, y'all. All right. Philip Hydes. Philip. What a man. Lord have mercy. Now, if you missed last week's show, Friday, we were talking about Philip here, who was supposed to come on the show at 10:30 because he was going to get a special 10:30 episode, but he chickened out and he did not come on the show. Philip, you are a no good man. Boy, I tell you, I hate to call our Caymanians no good, but yes, he happens to be one of them. And we call a spade around here, regardless of who you are, who your mama is, in his case, who your grandparents is, because he's living off of their accolades, apparently. Oh, my grandfather is Willie Farrington. Well, he must have been rolling in his grave this morning. I'm pretty sure he's not pleased with your behavior, your lack of a moral compass. And so we're going to talk about it, huh? All right, Philip. We gave him a chance. He can't say that CMR didn't give him a chance, but he wanted to play games because somebody must have told Philip that Sandy is the one to be playing games with. I'm like, has Philip ever looked at my face before? Has he not seen the look that Auntie Sandy be giving people? And y'all know me already. I try my endeavor best to be a woman of my word. If I say I'm going to do something, I do it. And 98% of the times I get it done. So I said to Philip, Philip, you got 1 week. If you don't return this last customer who was very unhappy, windows and doors, yeah, you are going to get a special segment dedicated just to you. He wouldn't call back. He wouldn't answer the phone. Kevin, can I get a clip of the show from last week when he did call? Talking about how we lying and this and that and all kind of foolishness. So he did message me and said, oh, I'll call you later so we can arrange a face-to-face. Face-to-face for what? Philip, I don't need to see you in person. And you certainly don't want to see me in person. I can assure you of that. And what does that have to do with you doing the right thing? Let me ask you that question. What does that have to do? If somebody has paid from last summer, from June, almost a year for windows and doors for their house, why do you think that I should be having to call you, message you, meet you in person to say what? What exactly are you saying to me in person? All you have to do is message the shipping company and say, please release this woman's windows and doors. She paid for them in full. You are such a liar, Philip. You are a very dishonest person. Now, what you didn't know and what I didn't know, and oh God, I feel so bad about this, is you have so many people out there with your name in their mouth about what a horrible contractor you are. You're a alleged thief, and we're going to prove some of your discrepancies this morning. So that might go from alleged to proven here shortly. But let's use alleged for now. You're an alleged thief. You do horrible work. I don't even know how anybody in their right mind would have you build their house. And there's a few people now who have him working on their house. They got posh homes, or so they think. That, oh, he gonna build them a multi-million-dollar house. I hope to God y'all are paying attention this morning. Jeffrey, that'd be you and your wife, honey child. Listen very, very carefully to what I'm about to tell you. Because you cannot, for 1 second, believe that he's gonna do right by you when he's done wrong by all of these other people. What makes you think that that's how life works? Somebody has a track record of such disgusting and horrible workmanship. What is he going to do? All of a sudden, bring in the big guns, the big decent workers to do your stuff for you? I don't think so, honey child. I'm just saying. I'm going to lay out the scenario. Now, here's the situation. He called my bluff, and he's losing this morning. And I'm going to give him a chance still to get it right. Because every week that goes by that he hasn't released these people windows and doors, I'm going to feature him with another case. I'm only going to talk about one this morning. This is not the people who are waiting on their window and doors, by the way. This is a man. To be very, very clear, this man has no shame. He has messed up so many people's homes that I don't know how the planning department has not stripped him. Somebody should have the power in this country to say that you are not worthy of being a contractor. I don't know if that's planning. I don't know if that's DCI. There has to be some degree of oversight in this country for contractors. And as it stands now, there is none. I got to switch my headsets and get more comfortable. There is none. There is zero. How is that possible? You know how it's possible? There is too much collusion in mix-up business and friend business. And oh, I've known Pan Dewey all my life, and me and him friends, and ting and all kind of foolishness. This should not be happening. And I'm going to show y'all something this morning that I need some answers to. Because even the director of planning had some questions to answer in relation to how he is approving a crooked wall in this woman's house. He approved it himself in the system. Oh, Jesus. What a mess. Let us begin. I'm going to start by showing y'all some pictures. Okay. Mold and poor workmanship and leaks. The people that move into their house in October, they don't even make it to Christmas. The place leaking all over. Look at some of these photos from this shoddy construction. Taking people hard-earned money. They have to go to the bank and borrow money. Look at all this. Look here. Look at some of these pictures. Floors unlevel. Look at leak in the people them house. Water coming out of the very. What the? Look. Huh? This is what you charge people for? You should be ashamed of yourself that you could call yourself a contractor, that you could take money from hard-working people, and this is the type of job that you give them. We have over 600 videos and pictures of what this man has been up to. Let me show you one or two of the videos. Because I don't make this stuff up. When people come to me, they got to come good. Look here. The wall is crying tears of rain. Look at the rain water coming in on the people them house. Oh, look at this. OMG. OMG. When I talk to these people, they are in tears. I mean, crying. Sandy, this is what this man has done to us, and we have to pay a mortgage for this. Good morning, caller. Yes, ma'am. We're live on air. Are you trying to get on the air? Okay, well, we're live now, so after 10:30. Okay, dear, thanks. Yes, my dear child. This is it. Out of the vents, out of the ceiling, water everywhere. You can imagine having to go to the bank to borrow hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's going to take you the better half of 20, 25 years to pay back. And this is the kind of work that this man has given you. Walls that are crooked, steps that are, let me bring up the full list of things. We have a 6-page document here, honey chill, that was sent to him before legal action, letter before action. We got permit card. The man could even get a CO. We have the entire chat conversation with him and this woman, right? I don't even know how many pages that is. Lots and lots of pages. He is a narcissist. He tries to blame the people themselves. He tries to blame other people in the industry. We're going to talk about some of them. He's blaming the engineers, the architects, planning. He has the audacity to tell people how planning not doing their job. And they're not inspecting stuff properly, blah, blah, blah. And yet, planning, Mr. Pandui, I have a question for you this morning, because he's signing off on stuff in the planning system when it has not been fixed. Good morning, caller. Well, I'm live, but you're not calling the right number. No. Oh, okay. All right, thanks. Somebody say, let's check my WhatsApp. I'd like to stay anonymous. The reason that the planning director can approve such horrible work is because Philip Hydes and Haran Pandui are lodge brothers, as well as Gillard McLaughlin. He's also a lodge brother of theirs, and they sit on the planning. He sits on the planning board. Well, I'll tell you what, I know business with who is lodged this morning. We have some serious questions in this country that we need to be asking. Where is the minister? He can't get involved in HR related things. Mr. Franz Manderson, I know he's away on personal leave, taking care of some business, but we have some questions here this morning. I'm sorry, Mr. Pandui. You look like a very nice man. I don't know anything about you, right? But I'm telling you that your department has now been called into question on more occasions than I care to admit. How is it that you personally go and approve, right, a crooked wall after the engineer? I got a screenshot right here from your system. So I'm not asking you something that I don't know. Tell me how you can go and approve it. Did you go out there and inspect it? Because I'm a little bit confused on exactly how this mixed up story went. So let me get this part straight now. You recommend to Philip use this particular engineer to come and look at the wall. He comes out there and says, yep, the wall not crooked. Even a blind man, the wall is crooked. Even a blind man can see that. Yeah? But yet he says, these are the things you need to do to fix it. Philip never fixes the wall. And then Mr. Pandui himself goes into the system and approves it. My brain is hurting me because I don't understand how that's possible. Why does the system say that you could actually approve such a thing? Okay. Just like most government things, they have an audit trail, huh? Y'all know how audit trails work. You're not logging into their system and approving nothing without somebody knowing what's being approved. See ya? The audit trail tells you exactly who approved what. Now, I am a little bit surprised that Mr. Panduhi, here we are, July 13th of 2021, would be in this system approving anything. As the director of the department, explain to me why you would be doing that. Isn't that what your inspectors are for? And don't your inspectors, if a contractor has a problem, don't your inspectors ensure that it is actually fixed before they go back and say it's approved? What kind of bamboozling thing is this? Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Aunt Cassandra.
You're coming in kind of low. Hold on one second. That might be my headset. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you could hear me better now?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Yeah, just a little insight to add to what you saying. If government inspectors come, they got check on the structure. They're not gonna check on the workmanship. So if the wall isn't plumb when it was being constructed, once it has steel, the adequate amount of steel and the adequate amount of cement, etc., into it, it would be approved. That's all government inspectors do.
But let me tell you something.
It's a confusion with a lot of people.
It wasn't approved. That's why the engineer had to go out there. So it was actually failed. Then
okay, well,
yes.
okay.
Then
Philip
supposedly was told by Panduhi himself, go and use this particular engineering guy and make him look at it for you. And okay.
Yeah, I'm not taking up for him.
No, I understand. I'm giving you more information about the process.
Well, yeah, that should have been if a government inspector went there and he did the structure and it doesn't have adequate amount of steel into it or whatever, or the plumb of the wall is so bad that within itself is a liability, then it was, if it was failed by government, then it had to be what you call it. But otherwise, the government doesn't worry about the workmanship, the quality. All they worry about is the structure. So that wall, the blocks could be out of plumb, they could be all twist up and everything. Once it has steel and concrete in it, that's all government is worried about. It's left, and a lot of people don't know that. You see, a lot of homeowners don't realize that government isn't going there and say, well, the quality, the workmanship isn't that bad. When we say workmanship, we mean the actual quality of the work, not the structural integrity of the building, you know. So that's just a little mix up that people get, because when they go on the inspect a roof, they make sure that the hurricane straps are on and the plywood is nailed on properly. That's it. They don't go and inspect for the shingles. Make sure you put on the shingles right, or even the flashing right. So if you don't put the flashing on, then that's the contractor fault. Government doesn't inspect that. So that's just another little insight for the people to know. All right, thank you.
All right, my dear, appreciate it. So I think what the caller is saying is that nobody's going to check poor workmanship. They're only checking structural stuff. But I mean, is it poor workmanship that your house is leaking? I'm just saying. Or is that structural? The woman's house leaks. Surely nobody can tell me that is part of what government would be approving. A house that is so poorly built that their water is pouring into people's homes. What is the point of you going out and taking out loans for hundreds of thousands of dollars? That you, by the time you finish paying back these loans, rest assured, the payback amount is going to be 3-4 times that. I'm a bit confused about why is it, you see where it says here, general building walls failed and then was approved by Mr. Panduhi himself after a structural engineer went in there. He found fault with it. But he said, these are the things you need to do to fix it. And the things were never done. How on earth does this work? Phillips' company is called PLH. I guess those are his initials. I don't know what his middle name is. Must be Flying Loser. But there you go. PLH Construction Limited. Strong Will says it's who you know and who know you. Well, Philip, he should have known better. Only a matter of time before this type of ridiculousness is exposed, huh? I mean, the workmanship here leaves a lot to be desired. I have a long list of all the things that were wrong with this house. Have a look. Look at this. Wow. This is the kind of work that he's doing for people. And they're having to go back and try to fix stuff, trying to level things off. Steps that are not even leveled. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Sandra. How are you today?
Boy, I'm shocked. How are you?
I'm not shocked at all. But I saw some pictures of subway tires that weren't even so much as grouted.
That would be the least of it.
That's the least of it, obviously. Yes. However, I want to ask you personally, or if anybody else out there in the listening public can provide this answer. In reality, I really feel for the individuals who have spent the largest outlay of their hard-earned money to build a house and be left in this position, regardless of who it is who is responsible for this kind of just absolutely pathetic end result. But I would like to know, what is the real world solutions or actions that a homeowner can take when they are left with this type of situation? Because obviously, Sandra, if there is no real recourse,
yes,
okay, and the individual who has taken out their loan, put themselves into debt for decades, so on and so forth, if there is no real recourse for them, then legally, in order to demand that these things are rectified, or to preemptively have an equation that demands upon a contractor or a tradesman to do these jobs properly, then we in Cayman cannot expect for anything other than this being the result. So my question to you, if you know, and to the general listening public, what real world recourse does the consumer have? The person who is going out and paying a contractor to do a job such as this, a house building job, where is consumer protection in the Cayman Islands?
There is none. I can easily answer that for you, unfortunately.
Okay. All right. So which member of parliament is willing to broach this, and which parts of the electorate are willing to hold those people's feet to the fire in order to implement the necessary laws so that we do have consumer protection in the Cayman Islands? Because if we do not, then we cannot expect any other result.
Yes.
And it is terrible to see. I really, really, really feel so bad for these people and anybody else. And this is obviously not the first story.
Oh, no.
This is not the first
like
testimony of this happening. It's over and over again.
If he continues and not release these people windows and doors that they paid for almost a year ago, if he continues every single week, I can feature a news story on him. Because there's that many out there.
You know, Sandra, with respect for what you do, it's indicative of the level. We on the radio? All right. All right, so I'm not gonna cuss. It's indicative of the level of absolute. It's depraved, man. Okay. You know, in Cayman, things are called incompetence when it's not incompetence. It's just outright highway robbery. Because we have a situation, a scenario here in Cayman where you have people overcharging and being charged way more than actual structure is worth, even if you tack on an extremely large net profit. Right? But then those same people will then go and get the cheapest labor that they can possibly find. Okay? These are the results. So what are you, Cayman, willing to do to demand improvements in the equation? Because Sandra, you know, look, you stand up for folks who are going through a difficult time, people who have been shafted, people who have been treated unfairly, so on and so forth, people who have been stolen from. The reality is, and I think you said this before, it is not your real position to be having to do that. But we now have a level of anarchy and abuse in Cayman on all these levels. All these levels of existence in Cayman, whether it be in business interactions, whether it be in trying to get your little house built or whatever it is. And the recourse for the general consumer public is damn well non-existent. So what are the solutions? We need consumer protection legislation in the Cayman Islands forthwith.
Absolutely.
And anybody within the parliament or anybody who's going to put themselves forward, this is just one next thing that they have to be forced to address. And if they're not willing to, then they don't deserve to step foot on the first step of our parliament building.
That's right.
So anybody in the electorate with their ears open this morning, hear that. You want improvement? We need some serious paradigm shifts here in this Cayman Island.
I agree.
Y'all have a good day.
Thank you very much, caller. I could not agree anymore. So, I mean, it's far worse than that. We just scratching the top of the, we just scratching the top here of the situation. This is, I've got voice notes. Somebody says, please give him a kaboom. I have voice notes. I have more videos. I have a whole list of grievances, missing material. He claimed that he's going to be ordering stuff from Lowe's overseas. So, oh yeah, I got this supplier overseas. I got to be ordering this particular material, whatever. And he orders substandard material to put in your house. So you're paying for one thing and getting something else. This man he is unbelievable as a business owner. This is the kind of thing that in other places in the world, he got to become part of the foundation of that house. Because somebody can get enough of this man ripping them off. As that caller rightfully said, you will not spend any money into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is your biggest capital expenditure that you will have in your entire life. Some of us don't even live long enough to pay off the mortgage. That's why the insurance company tell you, well, the bank tell you, honey, child, you got to give us an insurance because we don't know. You mightn't make it, but we want our money. You go, in the end, you end up paying $6, $7, sometimes even over $1 million for that house by the time you sit down and calculate interest. And somebody like a Philip Hydes, a Caymanian from West Bay, who has the gall to talk about how much of a Caymanian he is. He has the gall to talk about, well, my grandfather was Willie Farrington, you know, and my people is this. I don't care who your people are. If they have any scruples, they're listening to this show this morning and they themselves are shaking their head about how slack you are and how you've let the whole community down. Because if y'all think this is about one person, y'all got to be joking. Now, I want you to listen very carefully to what this man said to me on Friday when he called into the show. Listen to this, because I think it is very, very telling. When he had the audacity to talk about his hands being so clean, oh, my hand's cleaner than yours. I'll tell you one thing, son. Nobody can ever call me a thief. No, sir. I was raised better than that. You, on the other hand, are a thief. That's what it's called when you take people's money and you don't do the things that you're supposed to do with their money. Have a listen to what he said to me on Friday.
Yes, Miss Sandy. How are you?
Good, thanks. Hold on. Let me pull this picture down.
Philip, how are you doing?
I'm good, Philip.
I'm traveling, so I just got alerted that apparently you were talking.
Yeah, he can afford to travel. He's overseas more often than he's in Cayman because he's using people money to travel, buy boat, buy trucks, this and next thing. So of course he can travel. Go on.
Your usual smack and lies again.
Oh, really?
The only thing I have to say, Sandy, is this.
Okay.
That truth and lies are very different and separate.
Oh, okay. Well,
So
Philip,
based on lies.
Okay. Well, we have more than enough evidence, and we have more than enough facts, not just from this last person who wants her windows and doors, but everybody that you have been screwing over for the past umpteenth years are coming forward. So if you bright Philip, come for me. Because I would invite you to do so.
If I bite?
If you are bright, you come for me. Yes.
Well, there's only one dispute I've had.
You are a liar.
Hold
on, Philip. Let me tell you something. Hold on. The man say there's only one dispute that he has had. This person, let me tell you how brave, and as I said on Friday, how bright he is. He didn't finish the woman's house. We're going to go through the long list of problems, but he has the gall to get new customers off of another contractor who finished her house. He goes around and shows people these homes that he had problems with. That's how he's getting new business. That's how he's hoodwinking people. But he talking about facts and lies? You better get your facts straight, son. Okay? You've only had one dispute? Are you crazy? I mean, I cannot help but wonder if there is something wrong with your brain. You've had so many disputes, so many people going to lawyers about you. But as the last caller said, at the moment, the only real recourse that people have is that they have to go to a lawyer and take him to court. And let's be honest here. Most people are struggling just to pay the bills. They're paying rent. They're paying a mortgage because he takes so long. Don't ask him to build anything on time. Try and hush about that because that's not going to happen. He's not going to build it within budget, and he's certainly not going to build it within the allocated time either. So people just want to move into their homes. Now they must find more money to go to a lawyer and chase down Philip. That's the only recourse you have when contractors are doing this sort of thing to you. You have got to go and retain a lawyer. Most of them not going to talk to you for less than $5,000, $10,000 retainer. Meanwhile, Philip can travel overseas as often as he wants. Buying boat just the other day, buying umpteenth trucks off of your hard-earned money. I'm trying to get the voice notes together. Give me 1 second. Because the man plays a lot of blame games. He tells people, well, I'm doing you a favor. Really? This is what you call doing somebody a favor? Where their roof is leaking, where their house is leaking, where they have substandard construction, things that are dangerous, water coming down in your walls and touching your electrical stuff. He never completed the electrical work. You're doing them a favor? Man's a first-class narcissist is what he is. Because only a narcissist could deliver this type of workmanship, poor quality, hazardous, and then turn around and tell you that he's doing you a favor. What kind of favor would that be exactly? I got another video for you guys that I want you to have a look at here today. You know, I feel so bad because this young lady reached out to me when a lot of this situation was happening. She was expressing her angst with Philip. And I did not pick up on the fact that she really needed me to try to intervene. You know, she said she was going to get a lawyer. And I was like, okay, you know, go through the lawyer, go through that route. Because as the caller rightfully said, I always try to encourage people to go through that route because that's how you're going to get relief from the courts. Little did I know that had I actually featured Philip years ago when he was doing this, I could have saved countless victims who have since then had to deal with Philip. There are so many complaints against this man. For him to say, you are a liar.
In the court, and that is
Philip, you are. Hear what he said.
Well, there's only one dispute I've had.
There's only one dispute I have had. I'm talking about one today that has nothing to do with the one with the windows and doors, nothing to do with the neighbor across the street, nothing to do with Philip. There's at least 10 people out there, if not more. And not to forget the government contract you have and the issues that you've had even with the government contract. But government, being them, typical, they're going to waste the people's money paying someone like a Philip Hydes and not say anything about the poor workmanship that he's given to those people. And those are people who are going to get substandard homes, who can barely afford a mortgage. They're already in the program where, okay, you're part of the housing assistance program, blah, blah, blah. Why are we giving them poor quality homes that are not going to hold up to the test of times? He's a liar. Continue listening to this segment from Friday. You are a liar. Philip, let me tell you something. Right now we're in live radio. Yes. And so there's certain things we can't say on live radio. If you want to have this conversation with me, call me back at 10:30. Because when we're not on radio anymore, we can get straight to the point with you and your lies. You want to go? You would you like to go?
Your cold hard truth is full of honesty, right?
Oh,
so I'll call you back at 10:30.
Oh yeah, I got videos. I've got videos of houses that you were screwed up so bad from years ago. You've caused people so much stress. You are lucky that nobody has grabbed you and beaten you into a pulp yet. You are a very lucky man. But you know what? You call me back at 10:30. I'll be waiting for your call.
Is that what you're advertising now?
Oh, poor
abuse and physicality.
Poor you. I said you're lucky that nobody has done it. I'm not advertising it.
I stand on my record.
Yeah, but your record is crap. You should know.
I'm not perfect.
Your record has so much caca on it that you shouldn't be standing on that if you know what good for you. Call back at 10:30, Philip.
My record is clearer than yours.
Yeah, that what you think. Damn fool. Call back. Yeah. Call back 10:30. What do you say? His record is clearer than mine. Lord Jesus, help this man. Wow. I mean, oh my gosh. Really, Philip? No, sir. I'm not a thief. I don't crook people. I'm not a manipulator. I'm not a narcissist. No, honey child, your record can't stand the test of time. I have no clue what you're talking about, sir. Anyway, hold on. I got some voice notes now. Because he really manipulates these homeowners. I mean, he's quite a sick man, if you ask me. Here's another video. Poor workmanship yet again. Look at the water. Look at the rainwater. Did y'all see that? That's rainwater. In case you miss it, let's put it on loop. Hold on. Because I want to make sure y'all seen it properly. That, folks, is water pouring through the people them house. You hear that? Hold on. Just a second. This is him. This is the work that he does. Oh, Philip. What a hot mess. All right. There's more. Just let me get the voice notes. Give me 1 second. They're completing here. All right. Meanwhile, let me read the long list of issues with the home. 6-page letter sent to him back in June of 2022. Okay. Dear Mr. Philip Hydes, I am in receipt of your WhatsApp messages and your email regarding what you deem to be sums owed to you due to overcharges on my unfinished home. By the way, this is one of his scams that he also pulls on you, right? When you start to complain about what he's been doing and what he's been delivering, then he comes to you and he wants to claim now that he has money outstanding. Mind you, it's always going to be money that you knew nothing about, right? There are people who every single time he would send an invoice, his crappy looking, shoddy invoices, no details, no nothing. Every time he would send an invoice, they would pay the invoices without question. Okay. Then when they start to say, oh, where are my windows? Where are my doors? Where's my this? Where's my that? Oh, well, you're not getting that because you still owe me money. Owe you money for what? You have been paid every single thing that you invoiced. I have seen all the bank drafts that the banks have paid this man whatever he invoiced. So how can you turn around and claim that money is still owed to you? But this is a scam that he's using, because what y'all don't know is the doors that you ordered are now in somebody else's house. Y'all eventually finds out though. That's why he can't get it delivered to your house. He changes things structurally on your plans. The plans call for a particular roof, he puts on a different roof. The door is supposed to be a certain size, he changes it to suit his convenience and his cheapness of building your house. Morning, caller.
Good morning, Sandra.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, the topic that you're on right now about substandard construction. I'm not going to get into the situation with Mr. Philip Hydes.
Mm-hmm.
But what I would like this morning to open the eyes of everyone in Cayman and understand the substandard of construction throughout the island. I don't know if we can quantify how much of that being done. Some of the major buildings that I seen when the foundation was started, the steel rods was up, and from the 7 Mile Beach near wharf, I remember they had a strong, maybe it was a depression passing by. All of that seawater that hit that steel, and a building is going up in that area. Once salt water hits the steel is going to expand if it's not this year, next year, or the year after. Once it's hit by salt water, the steel, regardless of what you cover up with, is going to expand. So we're talking about major things that should been done and should be done now in this island. So from my point of view, the construction, the whole planning needs a revamping, a major overhaul, because it is not good what's going on this island when it comes to construction.
Mm-hmm.
And why in the hell are we hell-bent to do all of this construction in 2 or 3 years? What's wrong with the brain of these people? What are you going to do in another 5 or 8 years when all the construction is finished? Look, I'm sorry, but we got some kind of a abscess that's growing into this island that it need be taken seriously and overhauled and looked at, because it is not pretty what's happening to this island, Sandra.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I could go on, but you know what? I'm going to let you go. My time is not
Yes.
so plentiful and yours. But anyway, thank you for taking my call again.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hunter says too much foreign influence in our construction industry as well. Well, these are Caymanians, Hunter. Philip Hydes brags about how multi-generational of a Caymanian he is, and who his grandpapa was from West Bay and this and that and blah, blah, blah. This is a Caymanian doing this to his own people. There's not no foreigner. One of our own people. Explain that one. Philip Hydes is from West Bay. He tells people he's running for political office in West Bay because his papa was Willie Farrington, a former MP. That's his bragging rights. Huh? Oh, Lord. Listen to some of the voice notes now. Sit back, folks.
Hey, Candice, unfortunately, was a bit busy today and last night, so I was doing some work in an office building. I didn't get a chance to reach back to you, but it wasn't nothing major. It was just a few things. First thing is the outside lights. I wasn't sure what you had in mind, whether it was the tubular ones or I know you'd probably expect the black or the bronze color to match the windows. The issue was that there's not very many to choose from here on island, but there are some. I was wondering if you wanted the light that shines up and down or just a light that shines down for the wall mounted, and whether you would be okay with the round ones, because like I said, there's not much choice in square. Second thing is I wanted to actually show you the backsplash. The guy went there with me day before yesterday, on Monday, and if we take off that backsplash now, there's quite a good chance that we are going to damage the countertop, because they put that on with some silicone and sealer that is pretty strong, and if we start prying that off the wall, you could damage.
Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Sandy.
Morning, dear.
Trust you're well.
Yes, ma'am.
I had to call in on your show this morning. It's a pity you weren't around after Hurricane Ivan.
Lord Jesus.
Because trust me, there was a lot of stuff going on, like what your show is about today. I, in particular, experienced where I got a contractor. I gave him $45,000 and I didn't get any work done and got $5,000 back from him. It's a pity that I could not have called him out at that time. But they say today is for you, tomorrow is for me. I understand he's suffering now. Yeah. So I just want to inject there today that it pays to be good. It pays to, when you take on a job, to do the job and do it correctly, and don't try to jip people out or whatever, because it comes back to you. My message to you, Mr. Philip Hydes, this morning, you need to own up to what you have done and reimburse these people or whoever you've gypped, because it's going to come back on you. If it's not coming back on you, it's coming back on your children.
Yeah.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate, but he takes no responsibility. Keep listening.
Here's the countertop. And then the other thing is the backsplash. I'm not trying to change your mind about that backsplash, but I wanted to show you what's going to happen if we just put those tiles together on the backsplash, especially where the window is, because the problem is going to be the window has a very small space between the window and the cabinet, and in order to wrap that to make it look good, we're going to have to buy quite a bit more tiles. And because the tile that's there now has 9 different patterns on the tile itself. It's, as you know, it's 9 different squares, and there's no way to match that unless you buy multiple tiles. And the other thing was the shower door, unfortunately, got damaged at the port. I'm not sure where the blame lies, whether it's locally or with the shipment that was delivered. So I'm trying to sort that out, but that's going to be sorted. It's not an issue that you can't get CO. You'll be able to get CO without that, but I'm just going to have to get that sorted. And I think that's about it of the issues that I wanted to chat with you about. Okay, well, the sink, the undermount sink single bowl, like you want, there's none available here. So I'm gonna have to order one from the States, and I can always change that at a later time. I'm probably gonna have to go to the States here in the next couple weeks again, but I can get that changed. That's not an issue. And I'll just go ahead and wrap the tiles as is with the backsplash. And the up and down lights, I will send you a picture of what's available. Like I said, there's not much in square, so we'll probably have to go with round. And the space that's between the ceiling in the front porch and the socket is minimal, so I have to get something, and I want to try and get everything to match, all 5 of the outside lights to match. So I'm going to need to find something to fit in that space. So I'll send you something probably tomorrow, because I got electricians going up there this weekend to finish off. The laundry cabinets are going in tomorrow, and the countertop should go in tomorrow as well. As far as the laundry sink is a single bowl drop-in sink. Okay. Candace, I'm not sure what you're trying to get at, but seems like my communication is not getting through to you. I advised you the other day that the white cabinets are in stock, and you specifically said that you wanted the blue ones. I said that would cause a delay. It is a 4 to 6 week delay. Okay, that's to get them to my supplier. They aren't available. That's the only place I could get them available. The ones similar to what you want that matches. So that's what I've done. As far as the step, I have no clue what you're talking about. The step will finish at 6 inches, which is going to be the same height as the front door. The raised floor in the interior of the house has nothing to do with the outside, because the threshold would have been the same thing on the door in any event. So if the floor was a ½ inch lower on the inside, the threshold to step over is going to be the same thing. So it's going to be finished at the 6 inches, what is on the drawing. Additionally, as you can tell, so since I see that you've been talking to the guys about the drawings, there's a 36-inch opening that requires a 36-inch door. I don't know how that's going to work. That's the door that leads to the barn door that leads from your bedroom to the bathroom. So he has a 36-inch opening, but yet he has a 36-inch door. So there'll be a gap on either side of the door.
I just went back to the voice notes and thing that we sent back and forth. The accent wall was supposed to be the smoke gray, and the house would be the white water. Just confirming that you got the smoke gray for the accent, because that's what the doors will be.
Well, the electrical pipe will be capped right on top. You're not going to be able to see that once it's done. And then the other one is going to be cut lower. The 2-inch pipe is going to be cut lower, almost to the surface of the wall. You won't see that either, but that has to be for a vent. So we can't actually cut that to the height of the wall. It'll probably be about 1 inch above the wall, but you won't be able to see that once you drive up. But that has to stay as a vent for the sink drain and the plumbing. So are you intending to do the eave boards and the...
Anyway, folks, we can go on, but let me just go through the long list of issues here that we need to confirm. Let me just see. 1 second for me, folks. Okay, so we have, hold on. We have this document. Okay, so he claims overages. It was agreed that the home would be completed by or before 6 months after the first check was handed to you, the first week of March 2021. Keep in mind that he actually had the plans a year before construction began. There was sufficient time given to you because of delays, which you claim were due to COVID and building material shortages. You agreed to complete the home by April the 30th, as stated in your email dated April the 2nd. It is now June 2022, and you've not done everything possible to finish my home as agreed. There's still quite a large amount of finishing work that still needs to be done, and you've not done final inspections or applied for the CO, even though you've been paid all drawdown advances on time. The last check for over $41,000 was handed to you on February the 8th of 2022. Just to be clear, you've received all payments as agreed in the contract drawdown schedule to begin the house, to bring the house, to CO as of the 8th of February. Checks have been addressed to PLH Construction and have been cashed as follows. All the cash dates provided in this letter. You continue to blame the increase of materials on COVID-19, though there were weeks at a time when my house sat without any work being done. It was also realized that the work was being done after hours or weekends by men, immigration, pay attention, who were engaged in other full-time work. The AC guy works for Public Works. Let me repeat that. The AC guy works for Public Works. He's using government workers to work on the side for him. He's using gardeners to do painting on people's homes. The electrician also works for Public Works. Other people have been there from McAlpine, etc. When I ask you about this via WhatsApp on October 21st, 2021, which instead of answering me directly, you threatened to terminate the contract and hand over all materials. I have a copy of the conversation should you need it. You still did not address the fact that, yes, to present date, the house was only being done by people part-time. More so, there have been several times that you have left the island and given us no notification at all. We would only find out when we tried to contact you as to why nothing was happening. You've also continuously blamed the architect for issues, but were given the approved plans via email on March the 6th of 2020 at 8:37 a.m. We did advise you to look them over because we did not fully trust the architect on several occasions, to which you stated that you would have your electrician, plumber, and AC persons review them. There was also some things in the plan I pointed out to you and advised you to just leave them because we could always apply for amendments if needed, and it would only slow down the process. As to the remarks on the value of the home, I'm also aware of the mention that I was concerned about the value of the house. It is quite a good thing that we did not, this is in relation now to getting a report from DDL. On several occasions, I advised you about the amount of material I had on hand: floor tiles, wall tiles, accent tiles, backsplash, etc., sliding door, tub, faucets, chandeliers. To this day, you have yet to come and see what you can use out of those items to cut costs on your job or to sell any of them to benefit you. It was brought to my attention that you developed a personal relationship with an evaluator at DDL. He's mentioned here by name. He also advised me that because he liked the design of my house, he has opted to refer you to persons, and a loan has been approved for you to build the home of the mother of his child. He also stated that he didn't get receipts and just went on your word. He also made sure to update me as to why I should just pay you the overages based on your conversation with him, which I find extremely disappointing, because this will more than likely result in getting another evaluator. You clearly now have a conflict of interest, and there's no longer you're no longer acting as an independent third party for the bank, as he is conducting personal business with you. This is the evaluator. The contract states in paragraph 4 that the contractor must maintain the site in an organized and tidy manner throughout duration, and upon completion of work and a reasonable satisfaction of the client, please see attached pictures as proof that this has not happened. This dude would not even, just for the record, he would not even supply his workers with a proper bathroom facility. Neighbors complaining of dumping. Piles of trash were never put into it. So he's dumping all over the place. 3 piles of trash and things have been blown or strewn across the street by the front yard and the backyard. No porta potty on the site, so the guys were going in the bushes to use the bathroom. This is all the stuff. And a long list of items here. Corresponding photos and videos. The shower placed on the wrong wall. Then he says it's too expensive to move it because that's going to require jackhamming up the foundation for pipes. Thus, we left it. Other issues stem from that. For example, there's supposed to be no shower threshold, as it was to be a slab of glass on the side of the shower. This then turned into a threshold having to be put in. And I confirmed with you that shower was to be 3 feet wide. Upon seeing how wide the threshold was, I spoke to you about it. It needed to be narrower and 3 feet from inside the shower. None of this was corrected, which resulted in this widely unnecessary threshold, especially as you ordered barn shower doors, which roll on the top. This needs to be corrected. Barn shower doors broken. Vanity lights on the plans missing. Electrical work not completed, not done. To date, one is still missing in the half bath. The full bath to the left side of the house, if you're standing from the road, which shall be referred to as the kids' room, is still missing lighting, recessed lighting, etc. The hallway is crooked, missing lighting. Cabinets in the laundry room are not correct. All countertops and vanities should have been the same. Nope, some kind of mix up there. The list goes on. Kitchen sink, a problem with that. Master bath for freestanding tub, pipes are not correct. You bought a standing tub filler. The choice was given to you as you were complaining about cost. However, the pipes that are there will need to be moved and should have originally been on the wall. The drain pipe is in the wrong place in the tub. You ordered, and thus now my Argentina porcelain tiles will need to be taken up. The floor jackhammered and pipes moved. None of the walls are fully smooth and plastered, which has been put on in a sloppy and cracked. Indents under each window and around where the boards nailed in. I mean, the list just goes on. Electrical not completed, isn't connected to the house. Uncovered and unfinished electrical throughout the entire exterior and interior. No AC units on location or installed. No thermostats. No grills or filters for the AC ducts. Electrical outlets outside the house aren't covered, and water is now in the lines. They aren't GIFs, and others have been exposed wires. Septic isn't connected to the house or the overflow. Persons installed said overflow clearly without supervision as they cut down a 5-foot guinea tree, which was the first tree I ever planted there and was sentimental about it, from my great-grandmother's yard, who's now deceased. There's paint on the quartz countertop from where the painters didn't cover it. Lots of sloppy work on the interior. Drip marks, bumps, brown spots, lines, Mamoran ceiling for the front porch is the wrong color. The paint on the inside of the front door, white spots coming through it. The attic crawl space, drawdown access in the laundry room from the AC handlers to be serviced is not completed. CUC pedestal not built. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. Even the bank became concerned about the poor quality of workmanship. Because, I mean, the bank is loaning y'all money in these homes. This is also impacting their interest in the property. Right? And he has the audacity to claim to people, but he has overage claims, as they say here in this letter. How you gonna claim overage and forcing this woman now, she must go get another loan to pay your overage when you've not even completed the work to standard And some of the work was not completed at all. Material missing. She actually had to, in the end, go and get other people to basically complete the job for her. This man is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. You guys see the electrical wires hanging out of the panel box, right? Areas having to be jackhammered up to try and fix some of the things that this man was doing. Steps not even. Using let me show you all the other broken bits and pieces. The house not even finished yet, and already the windows are breaking. Wow. This dude, absolutely shocking. And so there's no oversight in Cayman for any of this? Is this what y'all trying to tell me? That planning is signing off on all this stuff? Because they're lodge buddies or they know each other and they grew up together and whatever? Tile that's not even straight? Having civil servants work on the side? This is acceptable? This is what people are paying hard-earned money for. Let me show y'all this bathtub, because y'all wait till you see this. Wait till you see the shoddy electrical work. And yet this man claims that he's an honest man, that he's only had one complaint. My God. Really, dude? You've only had one complaint? Well, if you've only had one complaint, I must be the Virgin Mary. Because I can tell you what, that is a lie. Water seeping in. Let me show y'all some of these additional photos. This homeowner was very meticulous with photos, over 600 videos and photos of what Philip Hydes has been doing to their home. People trying to get a little piece of the Caymanian dream. And this is what this man is actually doing to them. Substandard work that should not be approved by planning or anybody else for that matter. Water coming through her house. But yet he claims, oh, I've only had a few issues. You had more than a few issues with just this one house alone? Hold on. Let me show you some more photos. Because we don't have any reason to about, oh, we're lying, we're slandering him. We don't have any reason to lie about you, Philip. I don't know you really from the man in the moon. I just know you from West, and that's about it. I didn't even know that you were a contractor, to be honest. Thank God. Let's have a look. You can't argue with all these pictures and videos now. See the woman tub there? That's him building a house. And that is the tub, folks, that he's going to hand over to someone. A brand new house. That's it. Look at this. Look at the line with the wall and the tiling right there. Okay, broken handle on the window. This is how you want to give somebody a brand new house. Wow. Water coming in. Tiles not straight, none at all. All kind of patchwork. Electrical problems. Plumbing and sewage issues. Pipes not connected. This is what this man is up to. This is what he thinks. People are working tirelessly, working their fingers to the bone for him to deliver a house of this caliber to them. Like, seriously? No, sir. Lots of questions here, folks. Lots and lots and lots of questions. And you know what is so shocking? There are still people. There's pictures here of inside the laundry ceiling. They don't even put in proper hurricane straps. Right? The ceiling not even done properly. Floor not leveled. Steps not the right height. He wouldn't finish anything, the person says. Didn't install the fixtures. He sent me pictures of all at the time, saying that he was going to be getting them from overseas. Instead, end up buying cheaper versions of stuff here. The plans didn't meet the plans don't match the roof that he did because he likes to do his own roof. The roof leaks because they didn't install it properly. They put caulking instead of the cement and putting in the flashing for standing seam. The woman has sent her pictures. She sent the plans. She said his work is crap. He doesn't finish anything. Nothing is leveled. Voice notes that he cannot deny. Put the shower in the wrong wall. Roof started leaking in December. They moved in October. The sink is rusting already. Had to do her own electrical and plumbing. Didn't even build the little concrete garbage thing outside. Had to do the porch to bring it herself to bring it to code. Hallway is not plumbed or leveled. Had to jackhammer up my tile floor in the master because he didn't dry fit the tub, which he bought. Foreman, an alcoholic from West Bay. He can afford to buy 2 new trucks during this time. They allege he has a gambling problem. I don't know nothing about that, but this is the allegation. He made 12 trips while building this house and can't do the woman house properly. She said them 12 trips, as far as she's concerned, was done on her drawdown. He doesn't care about who he hurts. So, you know what? Somebody say somebody need to take him fishing. Y'all know what that means. No, sir. Wow. This, folks, is a contractor extraordinaire. This is who you all want building your homes. Gabby says this is just criminal at this point, WTF. Faded Mary Jean says, did you go by the house and take a look? Make sure this isn't someone just sending you pictures. Faded Mary Jean. This isn't one person. This is person after person after person after person. Radio listeners, y'all have a fantastic day. We'll see you guys on Monday morning. Good morning, caller.
Hey, Sandy.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Just a quickie. He's been online on the feed commenting, but he won't call in on the show.
Oh, he's there? Let me see.
Oh, yeah.
I was unable to finish the job just because she didn't want to pay extra for the jackhammer to dig up the electrical supply line. She kicked us off the job. Oh, we're in overtime now. Philip, you're a fucking liar. All you do is make excuses for your incompetence. Every single client you have and you're not doing stuff to standard, you have some fucking excuse. Philip, you heard that person that said somebody need to take you fishing? You gonna keep it up until you buck up on the wrong Caymanian, because they're gonna be a Caymanian who can do it. And they're gonna sort your business out for you. They're gonna break you 2 fucking legs is what they're gonna do. There's something wrong with you, Philip. You have got a serious problem. I didn't even see that he was there. Thanks for letting me know.
Sure. Have a good day.
Thank you. No, man. Philip, you claim you only had one complainant. You know how many people have come forward to me? Complaint after complaint after complaint. There's something wrong with you, Philip. You have got a problem. You need professional help. And in the meantime, you need to come out of the construction industry. Using all these substandard workers, working part-time, getting shit passed through planning just because you know people. Right? You're being told how to correct stuff and then you don't correct it, but somehow Mr. Pandui manages to sign off on it. I really want to put in an FOI on this to ask Mr. Pandui, how is that possible? Because the issue still was never fixed. How can planning sign off on something that has not been corrected? So now you're blaming her, as you have done on numerous occasions, to say, the list you're referring to couldn't be completed because she told people to get off the job. That's because the woman was sick and tired of you and your bullshit. She was sick and tired of you hemorrhaging and taking her money and not doing anything. How long you think your guys can sit there and do all this foolishness before somebody's going to have to say, you're fired. I need somebody to get in here and fix my place. Good morning, caller.
They say his fingers so long and his nose so long, he looked like the troll from under the bridge.
What a hot mess. Betty Ann says your reputation is tarnished. I didn't know he was in Construction in Cayman. Construction in Cayman now is a get-rich pansy scheme for contractors, says Neelis. Strong Will says, Sandy, it's so funny that these bad contractors always are the ones that get the job. I really don't understand. Jamila says, if the customer wants blue, that's not your problem, damn teeth. But I mean, that was just one example. There are just so many. Somebody said he gonna lock his profile too. That's okay, you can lock your profile. We have all the pictures of you that we need. Meanwhile, you out there traveling yet again. How do you explain that people can pay you in full for something and almost a year later, they don't have those goods delivered yet? Can you explain yourself? Like, seriously? How do you put your head down on your pillow at night and sleep, knowing what you have done to hard-working Caymanians, your own fucking people, you know? And then you have the audacity to talk about you want to run for politics? You, a dishonest son of a bitch, crooking your own people, want to run for politics in this country? I can tell you one thing. No, Bobo. That not happening. Not today, not tomorrow, not next week, not next election year, or the one after that. You are a crook. You are a thief. You are a liar. You are a narcissist. You are a manipulator. Remember when I first reached out to you? What were the things that you were focusing on? Something that happened 30 years ago with this woman's ex from 35 years ago. What does that have to do with you building people's homes now? Delayed by years. Lying about why you're making changes. What is wrong with you, Philip? What is wrong with you? You have a serious problem. Miss Debbie Broderick in the house. Morning, Miss Debbie. She says it's unfortunate that we have so many of these so-called contractors out there who constantly try ripping off poor people when they're trying to get their homes, and they do this more so to single ladies. I know this for a fact. They need to be held accountable through the courts, but unfortunately, this is another issue in itself, whereas the person trying to build have to find more funds to take it through the courts, which can then drag on, and sometimes the contractor will get, unfortunately, that cut off. So yes, I mean, taking them to court is the only solution. But unfortunately, he knows that most people don't even have the money after he's royally screwed them with no lubrication. They're not got nothing left to take him to court. So he knows that the system is on his side for him to continue to crook people. Daniel, just send it on the messenger, and one of the administrators will check it. Jamila says he's making other contractors look bad. Well, today he's making his damn self look bad. He should be ashamed of himself if he had any shame. Oh, he says the civil servants have a license, but that's not the point. The point that she was making is nobody was working on her job site full time to get anything done. Weeks at a time, the job site would go Nobody touched it. You even had doors and stuff put on, and the woman couldn't even get inside of her house because you did not want her to see the shit show that you had going on inside of there. She had to go and get keys cut in order to be able to walk through and see what was going on. Your poor workmanship. Can you not take accountability, Philip, for anything that you've done? You're here on the show commenting and making nothing but excuses for yourself. Are you not able to see where you have screwed so many people in this country that one of these days, one of them is going to grab you in not a good way? You refuse to take accountability. You want to call these homeowners, these families, these men and women trying to build their homes, they're the problems. Oh, you're doing them a favor. Listen to yourself.
Fascia the same color, or are you leaving the fascia white and doing the eave boards the color of the house? Hey Candace, just sent you an email. Hopefully you can forward it on to your bank, just letting them know the urgency of trying to get this thing sorted, because it's collecting $37 storage now from last week Friday, because the week has exceeded. Tomorrow there will be 2 weeks since the cabinets and the plumbing stuff has arrived. So I know we had talked about.
So you be late ordering stuff and getting stuff to people, and then all of a sudden when it comes, oh yeah, now you know storage fees and this and that. What about the delays that you have caused on people's homes? Continual delays. What about that? They don't get compensated for your delays, for your errors, for your mistakes that then they must go and fix. But you talking about storage fees because you don't want to pay storage fees? What happened? You got to go buy a new truck or what? You got to go visit your daughters again and take them on another vacation? I'm just wondering what the urgency is with the storage fees.
But sometimes I don't think these people up in these banks understand the importance of certain things and holding up people's money and so forth. So just letting you.
These people in these banks don't understand certain things. What they need to understand is that Philip L. Hydes is a crook. And anybody who comes to you banks now, Credit Union, Cayman National, Scotiabank, First Caribbean, if you see anybody using this man for a contractor, do not do it. The banks have an obligation. They have an obligation in this as well. They need to step up. This is where I'm going to put the challenge to them. The Bankers Association needs to step up. When you've had one too many people having to deal with a contractor like this, it is time you say no more. You need to have a list of contractors you will not work with. Make sure Philip is on the list as of today. This is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Know that I had sent you an email, so maybe you can call them or email them and forward the email on to them with what I sent you. Oh, and the other thing was the three lights that were in the closet. Are those are you wanting those above the vanities in the bathrooms? I'm assuming that's what they were for, because everything else is pretty much recessed lighting. What I was thinking, Candice, sorry for the voice note, but I'm driving. I was thinking that the stone white would go on the walls and the silver spring as the accent wall, or you could do the white water on the walls and the smoke gray as the accent walls. But if you wanted the smoke gray accent wall, I think the silver spring is going to be a little too tight, too close to that, and it's going to make the house too dark. Because remember now, it'll be a little darker than what you see here. Evening, Candice. Just want to let you know that I had paid Raw for the survey. I'm going to forward it to you by email either later tonight or tomorrow, along with the invoice for the next disbursement and the invoice for the overages. And I guess we can discuss with the bank at that point. Not sure what relationship you have with the bank, but in order for me to continue on, I really need to get this sorted ASAP. The cabinets are on island in customs, and as well as the granite. So I need to get this sorted because I can't keep coming out of pocket, as we discussed. So speak to them, let me know if there's any questions. Give me a shout whenever you get a chance. Thank you. Have a good night. Good morning, Candice. Candice, we got a minor issue with the electrical mean. Where this guy has it on the site plan and where it comes into your property are two different locations. Therefore, we're going to have to get an architect to just show on the site plan the different location, because it's coming to the west of your property. It's on the west side of your property line, and he has it out there by where the water line comes in, because it's all underground electricity. So the pipe actually comes up in your property over there by where that pile of stuff is to the west side. So having said that, we're definitely going to need a new site plan with change of electrical location prior to getting a final inspection or electrical inspection completed. So I don't know if you wanted to reach out to this guy or you want to try to get somebody else to do it. But it may be if you're able to reach out to him, he'll be probably the quickest one to deal with it. Good morning, Candice. Just here at ITC now, and I wanted to confirm for the final time what your choices are. On our last conversation and in your text, you said you wanted the seam tile that's on the floor in the laundry room and in the bathroom to be your backsplash tile. The subway tiles will then go in each shower for the shower walls. Can you kindly confirm that and let me know as soon as possible, please?
I can re-forward you our original voice notes if you need them back.
Candice, I'm not sure what you are frustrated about. I don't think your frustration is any greater than mine. I can't order all of this material out of pocket. I just can't do it. I've given you and Eric a contract amount that is minimal on my profit, and I have went above and beyond. Right now, as it stands, I'm out of pocket on all of this contract. So I had to wait to get the deposit, which is on the disbursement schedule of bathroom fixtures, electrical fixtures, and tiling. Now, I'm not sure what you're expecting from me, but for me to order all of your things out of pocket and then just be repaid, it just doesn't work that way. This is not construction. Unfortunately, delays happen, and especially now with COVID, I'm not making any excuses. I ordered appliances for another customer from August, and they're not going to be available until April. That is the way we are. So your frustrations are no more or no less than mine. I asked you what you guys wanted to do. This is a result of your architect not knowing what he's doing. You have paid him, and now it's the contractor's fault. And now it's the contractor's responsibility to correct all of these issues that the architect has been paid for.
And by the way, he loves to blame architects for problems. He will change your entire door, your roof, your this, your that, and all kind of changes that he makes, he claims it's an architectural problem. When you get independent people in and ask them what's the issue, they say there is no issue. He just has a preference because he's using cheap labor to do things a particular way, and he doesn't want to do it that way. He's trying to cut costs. He's trying to save money, right? And because he's trying to do that and, save himself a buck, he then will blame the architect. Well, it couldn't be done that way because the architect, there was a problem with it. You had the architectural drawings in a year before you even start the job. If there was an issue, why didn't you bring it up 12 months before you started the job and 12 months before you first got your drawdown money? Right? Didn't you claim that you were going to have all of your people look it over? Oh, my electrician can look it over. My this can look it over, my that. Okay. Did they not look it over? What happened? It's so funny how you can discover all of these problems after the fact.
And it is completely unfair for you to say that you're frustrated. I have waited. I have paid for your your assessment. So please don't come with that with me at this 11th hour, please. I've done more and I've went above and beyond what my contract calls for. You will be getting a revised invoice for the overages, and I expect those to be paid. When everything is completed. So just to show you, the architect is a complete idiot. But I will raise it to 1.5 inches. But when it starts flooding, when heavy rains come in, since it's not a covered area, please don't call me. I will raise it when we pour the slab to 1.5 inches below the main floor. Then I'll tile it. But please do not call me since it's not covered and water starts flooding in. Because it's only 1.5 inches from the threshold. Afternoon, Candice. Candice, in thinking about our text back and forth yesterday, I think it's best if you arrange the call and let Raul or whatever his name know that I will be paying for it. Let me pay for it so I can get it done, because I need them to work on this next payment, this fourth drawdown, because I'm going to have too many people waiting to be paid. The plumber, the sheetrock guy, electrician, need to put in the septic, and I need to clean up around the site. So I can't wait until February, late February, to have this inspection, and then wait on the bank again to issue the next payment. This is dragging out a little too long now, and I think that's the best way. I'll just give you a copy of the receipt, and that could be added as an overage at the end of the day. Candice, I haven't bought the paint yet, but if you recall, we were on after the voice notes, I said that it was going to be too dark, and you said, okay, well, let's go with the other two. Well, the white water was always the wall, but I said that I think the smoke gray is going to be too dark just on that one wall. Now, if that's what you want, it don't matter to me. I just think it's going to take away from the house with a dark, so much dark colors in there. But anyhow, that's what you want. That's what you get. I've been waiting on a dumpster from Borden Heavy Equipment Services for 2 weeks. He promised me that he's picking one up Friday, today or tomorrow.
Everybody else dropping the ball but Philip. Everybody else is the problem but Philip.
And as soon as he gets it, he will take it there. So if something happens that he doesn't get it there by tomorrow, I guess I'll get a grab truck or something. But yes, I have ordered a dumpster.
Yeah, I agree with you. The smoke gray can go on the accent wall for where the French doors is, and then the lighter color, the white water would be better, because I'm looking at it now, and like you said, that Silver Spring gonna be too dark.
Candice, what I was trying to explain to you is that the white cabinets are usually in stock. The blue cabinets are going to be a special order. I didn't say anything that we couldn't get the blue cabinets. All I'm saying to you is that the timing is going to be restricted because they're not an in-stock item. So I have spoken to my supplier to try and get the blue cabinets. Not sure how long they're going to take, but that's what you want. That's what you will get.
Anyway, much more where that came from. He has a long, despite his claims that he only knows of, there's only one person he has had an issue with. Despite those claims, I can tell you there is a long list of people out there. So, Mr. Phillip, here's the deal, right? Every single week you're gonna be, next week we'll feature another one. You know what you were supposed to do from last week. Why didn't you do it? Why didn't you? Last week, Friday, I said, everybody here, we had over 800 people on the live stream. People heard me as clear as day. And people know I'm a person of my word. I said, you better fucking get those doors and windows released if you know what's good for you. Because I'm going to expose you next week if you don't. What did you do? Did you release them? What you did yesterday? All right. Keep playing with me if you think you bright. You wasn't quite sure what I was saying. You've been hanging out too many fucking Americans. You don't know when people talking to you anymore. In the Cayman Islands. Keep it up. Keep it up, son. Don't waste your $1,000 talking about you running for politics, bitch, because you're not going nowhere. We wouldn't even get into the rest of the sloppiness that you got going on in your life. That means you'd never be able to touch the political arena. Never, ever, ever. Anyway, folks, tune in tomorrow for a special edition of Cayman Voices. And I think I'll play it tomorrow. I'm still thinking about it. I'll let y'all know. Mr. Goodlook says, now this is what I call an after show. Glad I stuck in today. Yeah, man, these people are too crooked. They're too crooked. And like I said, I will ride your ass for the next month, every single week if I have to, until you do the right thing by people. You got to realize that you're actually hurting people. There are people who are in tears when they talk about what they have experienced with you. People crying, you know. I'm not gonna waste no tears after nobody like Philip Hydes. I can deal with him. And unfortunately, most people can't afford to deal with you legally and to take you to courts as they should. You need to know what it is to have no proper roof over your head. Good morning, caller.
Hello again, Sandra. After the end of this and you're about to shut down, I'd like to know your personal opinion. What do you think the solutions are as it pertains to us? The
whole industry needs a revamp. We need to have standards when it comes to contractors. You know, when they were trying to do it, because there was a move to try and do it, all the old no, we must get grandfathered in. We don't want to have to take in examinations. We don't want to have to be responsible. Listen, if we continue this line of thinking in doing business, our country is going to go to the dogs. We have a lot of it has. You're absolutely right, but we have got to come to the realization that it can't be business as usual. The people in this country are suffering as a result of this kind of nonsense.
What is the status of implementation of a consumer protection bill?
We need the status. Our government don't care about that. They're not doing nothing about it.
Okay, well, what does that tell you?
They simply don't care.
That tells you that we have collusion within the upper echelons of governmental maladministration.
Yep, they don't care.
And all manner of private sector.
They don't care.
Okay.
Yep.
I guess people need to open their eyes to that reality and understand where they want to really fall down at the end of the day. Where they want to stand at the end of the day on any of this. Because we can talk about it until cows come home we all decide we're going to croak. But what we're going to do about finding the solutions to it?
I agree. Unfortunately, the standards in this country leave a lot to be desired. And
we got far too many cabals in Cayman. We have far too many undue illegitimate influence and influence ponderers in Cayman. And these are just one, the subject matter of today is just one negative consequence.
Yeah.
Just one of many.
And this
so
collusion.
what are we going to do in Cayman to remedy the situation and make things better?
And this collusion between, you know, the planning department, the head of planning, and all these other people, this cannot continue.
And Sandra, have you seen the comments made by a couple of folks who simply trying to build a little one-bedroom house and they're waiting for donkeys years to get through the actual administrative process, right?
Yeah.
Yet still others who are high and mighty that all go through.
Yeah.
Okay, but the smaller people here in Cayman, the more regular public is getting shafted and having to sit there and wait for inordinate amounts of time to get their projects done. While the big people, they just get a free a red carpet ride through the whole thing.
Yeah.
You need to look at that part of this. You need to look at that part of this equation as well. So does everybody else here in Cayman. So if it's not acceptable, what are we going to do here in Cayman to remedy the situation? Because Mr. Hydes is one individual, but we are talking about a larger problem that extends across the whole gamut.
Yeah, and it's not just construction. I mean, obviously, we're highlighting construction today. Somebody just pointed out, they said, Sandy, we have low standards in so many things that we do. I want to share a video clip that someone shared from me. They shared with me earlier, I think it was last week, where they talked about the secret of Singapore's success. And this is something I'm going to keep playing over and over again, because we as a people have got to get to the point where we understand that you cannot build a house figuratively on a poor foundation. So as we continue to talk about how we want this for Cayman, we want the best, we're trying to strive, blah, blah, blah. How can we ever get there when we are allowing substandard elements, I mean, everything to just permeate all aspects of our lives?
And this is a system which is supposedly designed to stop that type of thing from happening in the first place and govern it.
It's not happening.
Okay. And let's look at Cayman of yesterday. Let's look at Cayman of yesterday. When you wanted to build your house, you build it up. Who the one who will suffer if the roof fall on your head? You, your family.
Exactly.
Right? So all of this has been put in place. To be quite honest with you, I can go out there with some rebar, get some cliff rock and some cement and build my own damn house far more than any bank, any insurance company or any other doggone constructor could. But I can't do that legally now, can I? But yet still, as has been identified here, we have this situation where people, Caymanian and others, okay, are trying to get their little house built, and they have to go through this hellscape rigmarole just to get a roof over their head. It's unacceptable. Cayman, open your eyes and try to figure out what you're willing and not willing to accept moving forward. God bless Cayman Island. Goodbye.
Yeah, we're going to need him to bless us. Trust me, because this is just absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So here's the thing, right? The caller makes a very, very good point. At some point, we have to talk about the standards. It cannot be business as usual in this country. And we're going to get any further ahead. I mean, we have got to recognize that there's something wrong with the system. The system is broken. If this hasn't demonstrated today how the construction industry is broken, right? Set aside Mr. Philip Hydes and his hot mess of a life for a minute. If we can't accept that there are much larger issues at play here, how does a rogue, contractor get away with all of this? Not just today, for years. For years, people have been talking about him. Yeah. For years, people in the industry, they're like, Sandy, nothing new with Philip. He has been taking advantage of a system that is unregulated for the most part. And people going into homes that less than 2 months later, they're leaking. They don't have no money left. They've already spent all of their money on that mortgage. And yet the system is going to allow them to be taken advantage of by the likes of Philip Hydes. Our government, let's talk about this for a minute. Our government is using Philip Hydes to build government homes. That is our money. Even if I never use the likes of a Philip Hydes, when the government is using him, that is our money that is being wasted. We are putting poor Caymanians, who oftentimes are already at a disadvantage, at a further disadvantage. How on earth does that make any sense to anybody? Huh? My God. And this man sits down with every excuse under the sun. I'm calling on our legislators. I'm calling on the banks. They have an obligation. Someone has got to do something about this. Remember what they say. Today for me, tomorrow for you. Y'all might think this is not your problem. Somebody say he's a fucking McKeever Bush backbone supporter. There's been just too many elements of collusion and problems throughout the years. Now listen to this. There are certain countries that have been doing a much better job of getting it right than us, and we need to try to learn from them. There's no need for us to try to reinvent the wheel. Good morning, caller.
Sandra, it's me again. This is definitely not the only industry that this is going on in. And people can go and voice their concerns, their complaints, but it almost seems like it's fallen on deaf ears.
Well, we have to start demanding it. I bet you if we start pressuring these MPs and not voting them back in office, they'll get the picture.
Well, I mean, when you actually go to government entities to put in a concern complaint, it many times falls on deaf ears. And, the investigations are not done properly or thoroughly, and then they're just put, to the side. And it's really a shame that this is happening. Such a beautiful country. I'm just at a loss. I'm at a loss where Cayman is headed and heading. Have been for some time, and it's just I don't understand what the average person can do, other than the voting, of course. But what can the average person actually do to make a difference? Because it doesn't seem like anything is changing. It's only going the side that doesn't need to go to.
Yeah.
And there's corruption. There's unethical business practices. There's such narcissism. There's nobody being held accountable or even holding themselves accountable. And I could go on and on and on with this list. But what I see that's going on, and also in my very own experiences presently, and it just blows my mind. And honestly, you've had a couple shows where I can't really speak about the right now, but if things don't get taken care of the way they need to be taken care of, or taken care of lawfully, just ethically, you will be hearing from me. I will bring the receipts, and it'll just be more exposure. Because this just has to stop. We can all sit back and make comments and complain, but you have to get up and do the footwork. You have to have your voice heard. We can't walk around in fear just because somebody threatens you or makes you think they know Joe over here when it's just a bunch of BS. So I don't know. I'm just at a loss. And like I said, my heart hurts and aches in the direction this country's going.
Yep.
That's it.
Thank you so much, caller. We got to make some changes. Have a listen to this video. This is how I'm going to end the show this morning. Have a listen to this video about what we are getting wrong, right? As Caymanians, how we have the formula completely wrong.
So, I was born in Singapore on 24th October 1948. So I guess I've lived in Singapore almost 70 years now. When I grew up, Singapore was still a poor developing country. Our per capita income when we became independent was $500, the same as Ghana in Africa. Either you can say the misfortune or the good fortune of being born in a very poor family in a poor Singapore. So when I was 6 years old, when I went to school for the first day, we were weighed at school. They wanted to see how heavy we were. And I was declared undernourished. So I was put in a special feeding program when I went to school, and the principal had a big pail of milk, and all the children who were underweight were asked to take one scoop of milk from the pail of milk. And our house in Singapore had no flush toilet. There was crime and riots, gangster fights in my neighborhood. So in a sense, I grew up in what you call a typical third world environment. And it's quite remarkable that in my lifetime, Singapore has gone from being a third world country to a first world country. And I have lived through this remarkable transformation. I was dean of the Lee Kuan Yew School of Public Policy for 13 years, from 2004 to 2017. And I would give every student who came to the Lee Kuan Yew School the same lecture. I said, I'm going to share with you the secret of Singapore's success free of charge. And I to tell the students that if you implement this secret formula, your country will succeed. And I capture the secret formula with the acronym in English, MPH. The M stands for meritocracy. Meritocracy means that you select the best people to run the country. And what brings many countries down, especially in the third world, is that when it comes to selecting the finance minister or the economics minister, they will give their jobs to their brothers, their cousins, their uncles, their relatives, and not to the best people. And Singapore did the exact opposite. In Singapore, the jobs were given to the best people. And in the case of the Prime Minister, Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, Mr. Lee Hsien Loong, when he went to study in Cambridge University, he was the top student in the class, if not in the university. In fact, his professors were so impressed. They said, you should become a mathematician because you'll become a world-class mathematician. Then he went to study in another great university, the Harvard Kennedy School. And in that university, he's one of the few students to get an article published in a Tier 1 economics journal. Very few students get articles published in a Tier 1 economics journal. So he's incredibly brilliant. And so if the best man of the job is Mr. Lee Kuan Yew's son, then he should be selected. Not on the basis of the fact that he's a relative, but on the basis that he's the best person for the job. So meritocracy is the first pillar of Singapore's secret formula. The second pillar is P, and P stands for pragmatism. Pragmatism is an English word, and it's an English concept. But the best definition of pragmatism was given by China's leader, Mr. Deng Xiaoping, when he said it doesn't matter whether a cat is black or a cat is white. If the cat catches mice, it is a good cat. So in the same way, it doesn't matter what your ideology is. If it works, you use it. So Singapore was very pragmatic. So it would take some policies that are capitalist and some policies that are socialist, and it would mix them up. And that's what pragmatism is about. You're not bound by any ideology. But the third pillar, the H is of course the hardest to achieve, because H stands for honesty. And indeed, what has brought most third world countries down and what has led to their failures in development has been corruption. And so Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, after he became Prime Minister, made it a point to punish not the junior people, but the very senior people. So when a deputy minister went on holiday with his friend, a businessman, when he came back, he was arrested. And so he said, why am I being arrested? He says, you went on a holiday with the businessman, he paid all your expenses, that's corruption. You go to jail. So when a deputy minister is sent to jail, then everybody says, oops, I got to be careful, I can also go to jail. So that honesty factor is one critical reason why Singapore has been exceptionally successful. So it's a combination of meritocracy, pragmatism, and honesty. Then that's the formula for Singapore's success.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Cold Hard Truth on Bobo 89.1 FM. Cayman's #1 talk show is live weekdays from 7:30 a.m. Never miss an episode again. Watch anytime on CMR's Facebook and YouTube channels for the latest show episodes. Don't forget to follow us online on our social media channels. And visit CaymanMarlRoad.com for all the latest news and community happenings.